I've sat up.
I'll do that now.
Bradford Park Avenue. It's the fourth time in the last 32. Guiseley having every equal chance. We're going to be bringing you full match commentary here on Guiseley beside me for this bumper festival.
On Monday, that 3-0 win, what a victory it was. You know, I think Park Avenue are going to be coming here with a point to prove. As for Guiseley, what a great way it would be to get this win, go to the next round, and as you were saying, that Plum tie, Luton Town away, someone like that would be fantastic.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of action first that stands in the way before that can become a reality. But on Monday night, the signs were very good when Bradford Park Avenue were again the opponents, this time in the league, and Lions ran out 3-0 victors. I spoke to Mark after that game. I'm joined now by Mark Bauer after the fine 3-0 victory at Bradford Park Avenue. Mark, you had to make a couple of changes, obviously, for tonight's match, but the lads that have turned out for you have responded excellently, haven't they?
Yeah, they were terrific. I mean, we lost Jack Ray and Adam Lockwood from Saturday, who were arguably our best two players on the pitch on Saturday, so to lose them was a big blow, but I had absolutely no hesitation or doubts about putting Parker and Jake Lawler into the side, and I think both are absolutely outstanding for us tonight. Jake just grew as the game went on. Ben Parker looked like a Rolls Royce playing there. Both superb and matched the performances of everyone else on the pitch. It was another all-round excellent team performance.
Yeah, just first before we get to the goals, but the team selection choosing Jake Lawler for midfield is a real sign that you still rate him as a midfield player as well as a centre-half, because he's been playing so well at centre-half.
He'd been terrific at centre-half. One thing that that we knew was the pitch conditions at Bradford Park Avenue. We knew it was going to be not a game to be getting it down and passing it. We just felt that Jake's presence in midfield may be the best option to go with, and it also gave us the chance to play that we're putting Ben Parker in at centre-half. We played the same back four that we did at Leamington, so we knew that the four had played together before and defended well together before, so we just felt like that was the best way to go tonight, and thankfully it worked well for us. Jake was terrific in midfield, like I said. Ben was excellent at centre half, and they just slotted in there perfectly to an all-round good team performance.
Just turning to the goals, two great ones from Danny Forrest. What's that, 3 in 2 games for him now? He's in a good spell of form, and also Gavin Rothery stepping up to take the penalty after Saturday's miss.
Yeah, well, first of all, Dan, we know he's got the quality. We know if we get him on the ball in advanced areas in the pitch that he can hurt people. He can go either way, can take it down the line and produce a cross, or he can, with that first one tonight, and find the far corner. So he's in a good goal scoring run at the minute. Hope that can continue. We know that the quality he's got, he can produce. And Gavin, no doubts about him stepping up for that penalty. The penalty that he took on Saturday was a decent penalty, and it was just a good save that kept it out. And I think Danny Forrest was lingering around hoping to have a chance for a hat-trick, but no, I was pleased that Gavin stepped up and showed good bottle to put it in comfortably.
Of course, we've got the big game on Saturday in the trophy now against Avenue at Nethermoor. How does that psychologically set it up? Is it more of a challenge to have beaten them comprehensively here for Saturday, or does that give us an advantage?
I think it'll be a completely different game of football. It'll be different conditions. Obviously, it's very hard to get the ball down and play on the pitch like Wheeler Avenue like to do. They do try and play good football, and it's not easy to do it on that pitch. So it'll be a completely different game. I think they've got a couple missing through suspension. We've got Reece Maynell missing through suspension. We'll have to see how injuries are in terms of what we've had tonight, but everyone seems okay in the dressing room. But that's football. The no two games are the same, and it'll be a very difficult game again. I've not changed my mind that they're one of the best sides in our division. So we won't be taking anything lightly. We've got to go out there and apply ourselves the way we applied ourselves tonight, and if we do that, we've every chance of going through.
Yeah, it is a tremendous run of form. I mean, 6 clean sheets for Stephen Drench now consecutively. At some point, it's got to turn, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. I mean, I think we were looking at. We've not conceded a goal from open play since the Ferriby game, which was sort of mid-late October. So it's a credit to the whole team. Alex Johnson puts in a great shift up front. The defending starts with him, and throughout the team, everyone knows their roles. And that's paying dividends when Drench is being called upon. Made a terrific save on Saturday. He's made another one tonight from the walk free kick. He's come and commanded his box really well as well. But it's an all-round team effort. Scoring goals is, but as keeping clean sheets, and it will happen. But when that happens, it's up to the strikers to go and put 2-3 goals in the other net and make sure that we keep on winning games.
Well, they've done that.
Well, that was Mark Bauer there talking to me after the result on Monday night. It was. I keep wanting to say Tuesday, but of course Avenue do play their games on a Monday evening, and it was fascinating to see how he's trying to talk down this afternoon's fixture in terms of expectations, really, as a result of Monday night's game.
Yeah, well, I think, it's the case that guys have been in the position where they've been the underdog during most of the games during the past few weeks, and the fantastic performances they've put in, I think it's because they haven't been under that sort of pressure that Guiseley have been known to be under over the last 2 or 3 seasons. What Mark was saying regarding Guiseley have not conceded a goal out of open play in, 6 weeks? That is just incredible. And I think that, of course, is one of the main reasons why Guiseley are playing so well. But when you look at the attacking options that are, available right now for Guiseley, if Steve Drench is going to concede a goal today, enough to say that I think Gavin Rothery, Danny Forrest, Alex Johnson, they have enough in their locker to get a few goals as well.
Well, let's just get the team lineups now. There's plenty of changes that are in the Avenue lineup in terms of Guiseley's opponents this afternoon. They start with John Lamb in goal, Chris Howarth, who played quite an influential role on Monday night, Jamie Price, Richard Marshall, Adam Clayton, Jason St Just, Chib Chalaka, 2 players that are returning for Avenue, Nicky Boschel, Alex Davis, Jordan Deasy and Paul Walker. Then on the bench, Tom Corner, Scott Maxfield, George Grayson, Mark Hume and Dermot McMurray. For Guiseley, Stephen Holdsworth, who's the captain, Michael Potts, Jake Lawler, Danny Hall, Wayne Brooksby, Danny Boschel, Alex Johnson, Danny Forrest and Gavin Rothery. So still no place for Adam Lockwood or Jack Ray after their injuries, and a replacement, of course, for Rhys Maynell, who's suspended this afternoon, in Michael Potts, who makes his entry into the starting lineup. Kyle Harrison, Ben Whitfield, Craig Hobson and Louis Swain are on the bench alongside sub-goalkeeper Stephen Dickinson. Now, let's just hear from one of those players who spoke to Tom just before this afternoon's game, when Tom caught up with Danny Forrest.
So Danny, you scored 2 goals against Park Avenue on Monday, playing them again just a few days later. How does that feel?
Yeah, obviously there's probably a little bit of a psychological advantage, but I saw Bowser's interview in the week and he says no 2 games are the same, and that's exactly right. We've just got to treat it for what it is, in its own right, sort of thing, and yeah, just get on with it, see if we can get a result. How much did you enjoy scoring them 2 goals? Yeah, very, very satisfying, obviously, for myself. I was there sort of pre-season, it didn't quite work out, and it left a bit of taste in my mouth, to be honest with you. But it just shows that Bowser's shown a bit of faith in me, and hopefully I'm repaying him, and that's all I needed. So yeah. It's going to be a tough game today. Just what do you think guys will have to do to get the win? We've not got to worry about them too much. Just if we look after ourselves and do what we do, we're a match for anybody, and especially at home recently. And yeah, it's like I said, especially at home, we've been in a bit of form, so we just need to carry that on, and like I said, it's all about us. And finally, what is your score prediction for today? I'm not one for predicting. I'll just take any sort of win.
So that was Danny Forrest chatting there in a windy tunnel with Tom Feeney just before the game today, so he's not going down the score predictions route. Not surprising, footballers don't want to say, probably look like they know what's going to happen on the pitch just at the moment, let's be honest. But the same message coming out there from Danny Forrest as from Mark.
Yeah, well, I think, for Danny Forrest, there's just that little bit of personal edge to it all. He really enjoyed scoring them 2 goals on Monday, and, you know, I do just think in terms of guys and the way they've been playing, it is just all about taking the pressure off. And like, you know, Mark Bauer said it, now the players are saying it as well. That can only be a positive, that the pressure isn't on them.
Well, of course, you also caught up with Mark ahead of this afternoon's game, and this is what he had to say when Tom spoke to him earlier on.
Well, Mark, a few days ago, Guiseley beat Park Avenue 3-0. How does it feel to be playing them so soon after?
Well, I don't think Monday night's game will have any effect on today's game. There'll be changes in both sides because of suspensions, injuries, etc. Completely different conditions in terms of pitch and weather, and a different competition as well. So, while I'm certainly rather be coming into the game on the back of a 3-0 win rather than a 3-0 defeat, I don't think it'll have much bearing on today.
Do you think Park Avenue will have a bit of a vengeance after that defeat?
I think they'll want to win the game as much as we want to win the game, but you look at they've come here twice already this season and won on both occasions, so they can look at that, look to that for some confidence coming in. But we can look to the game on Monday night for a bit of confidence. But like I say, once the game starts, you know, no one will be thinking about what happened on Monday night or what happened a couple of months ago. Just be 2 teams desperate to get through to the next round.
Of course, a different competition. Just how much does the FA Trophy mean to Guiseley Football Club?
Well, it's big for a start. It's the prize money. We've seen the sort of run we've been on since we've won games in this competition. The confidence that you can get from it, and with a few conference teams having gone out already and a couple of the big ones playing each other today, there's a real chance for a team from our level to go a long way in it. So desperate to get through. We'll be doing everything we possibly can to get through, and but Park Avenue will be doing the same, and it should be a good game.
Any team news you can reveal now?
No, like I say, we've same squad of players to pick from as Monday night, just with the exception of Reece Maynell will be missing out through suspension, so we'll pick from the same squad minus Reece.
Well, that was Mark Bauer there talking to Tom Feeney just ahead of this afternoon's game, giving away the team news that we've actually just revealed. But it was interesting once again to hear that Mark saying this is an important competition, a game that we want to win, that we have to get through because we've got every chance that we could go all the way, as much as anyone else has in this competition. You're listening to Guiseley AFC Radio. We're going to be bringing you live match commentary of this match throughout. But of course, if you want to follow us, there are alternative methods, one of which is Twitter. And Francis Granger is the man who's on the Twitter feed button. I don't know quite what we call it actually today, Francis. But Francis, you'll of course be following and tweeting events this afternoon. What do you make of this afternoon's game?
I think it'll be quite a sort of close fixture. I don't think it'll be. I think it was quite a very emphatic win on Monday night. I think it'll be a bit closer than then, because Bradford will have a revenge on their case, and I think as guys who keep picking up that change of foot, I think as guys who keep sort of that winning form, then obviously it gets hard to maintain it. So. I think we'll be in for a tough fixture today. Yeah,
it is going to be tough, and they've got Chibchalaka back. They've got Jason St Just, who was the man of the match for the game prior to the Avenue match. So they've got some quality in their squad. Likewise, we've had a few changes, and one of the players that's going to be coming back in for the starting lineup for the first time in a while is Michael Potts. Now, you've obviously watched Guiseley throughout the season. What do you make of Potts' performance beforehand? He's been a bit unlucky, hasn't he, not to be starting the lineup more often?
Yeah, I think recently when he's come on, he's put in a few good performances, like for instance in I think in some cup games, he's looked quite a sort of reassuring presence in the centre. So I think it's good for guys to use their depth and for him to get a chance.
Well, Francis, I hope you enjoy the game, and if you want to follow Francis, you'll be joining us again at half-time for some views of how the first half is going as we look at all of the results around the grounds, as I just find my words. And Tom, what do you make of what Francis had to say there?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think...
No, you were working there, don't worry.
Oh, well, right, well, so I'm getting a bit sceptic there. No, in terms of how Guiseley are playing at the moment, and, in terms of Michael Potts, I do think he's been so unlucky, because he was one of Guiseley's better players during the first few weeks of the season. So for him to be getting a chance today, I think that's going down a little bit, just because, you know what, he didn't do anything wrong, really. And then he got dropped because so many other players have been doing just that little bit better. But Potts have got a great chance today to, well, putting impression in Mark Bauer's mind.
Yeah,
Put me more often.
Among others as well. Ben Parker, of course, he had a good game on Monday night. Be interesting to see how he lasts out, presumably playing left back in place of Reece Maynell. And another player who, of course, is on fine form, Danny Forrest. We've spoken about banging in the goals in recent weeks.
Well, it's been great to see. You know, he came. When he was at Workington, to be honest, he looked really good at Workington, and he was saying that the reason he's come to Guiseley was because he was happy at Workington. It was just the travelling. So for him to come here and take the form that he's had at Workington's been brilliant. And, you know, he's banging the goals, and as you're saying, and hopefully he can get a few more today.
Well, long may. Manager Danny Boschel, he was also talking to Francis Granger ahead of this afternoon's game.
We're now joined by Danny Boschel, head of Guiseley's match with Bradford Park Avenue. So it's basically a return fixture from Monday night when you won 3-0. They'll have revenge on their mind, but it won't. Obviously, you won't be taking them like it'll be still a
No, it'll be a totally different game to Monday night. Obviously, in terms of the pitch you're playing on as well, which I think will suit Park Avenue as well. But obviously, like I said, they'll be out to try and get revenge on us for Monday. But we'll go out there, make sure the players' attitudes are right. There's no complacency, and go out and try and get a result for us.
Yeah, and obviously it's now 12 games unbeaten. It's quite a contrast from like a couple of months ago. I mean, what's been the sort of the key to this really good form you guys are on?
Obviously, Bowser and myself, we've managed to get a couple in, including myself, Lockwood, Orley. So he's got AJ in, and try to strengthen down spine at team, but obviously knew the quality's there. It's just obviously trying to get the best out of the players that which we know what a lot of them are capable of. Do you know what I mean? And the big thing is confidence. As soon as you start getting results, confidence builds. It's like now, lads are going into games thinking they can win every game, which is what we want to do. I mean, my first game was the Ferriby game, and I think that was a big mental, factor in now and the run we've gone on, because we've gone on and beat. I think they were joint top at the time. They probably expected, to get a result. Probably big as on night, but we knew what we had in our dressing room, we were capable of getting a result, and sort of like we've, gone from there really.
Maybe it could be argued that the guys are playing some of their best football in a while, but at the same time, obviously with the start of the season, it's quite a few points to chase up. So I suppose you've got to be careful not look at too much at the table and then you can easily keep that sort of we've got to try and catch up, because it can confuse sort of mental.
Obviously, I think, like you said, there's a lot of points to gain, but I mean, all me and Bowles will do is and Martin will take each game as it comes, and all we can do is take care of ourselves. We can only control the games we're playing in, and if we do that, then keep doing what we're doing, then who knows what could happen.
But that's probably the best way to sort of do it one game at a time rather than try and chase up points, because that's when it could.
Yeah, because you can't affect other games that you're not playing in. So like we said, we just got to look after ourselves. Do what we need to do, and then, like I said, see where we are after Christmas, and then we might have a better idea.
How will it feel coming up against your brother, Nicky Boschel? Battle of the brothers, bit of banter there.
Yeah, there were a bit of banter Monday night and stuff. We have a bit of a laugh on pitch, and I'm sure if he comes near me, I'll try to give him a little boot, which I'm sure he'll try and do it to me. But no, he's a good player. He's Nick, a lot of ability, and his mum, we've got to try and watch today, because he's capable of a bit of magic from nowhere. So he's obviously got to keep an eye on him. But no, it'll be good. Like I said, a bit of banter and stuff, and I'm sure we will do.
All right, cheers, Danny.
Right, no worries, mate.
Well, that was Danny Boschel there talking to Francis Granger. Smashing interview, Francis, and very insightful indeed to see that there's a bit of brotherly love that there's going to be on display this afternoon as Guiseley take on Bradford Park Avenue. Boschel versus Boschel. It's a bit like Kramer versus Kramer in a football setting. Delighted now. I don't know if it is, actually. I think that's a terrible simile. Delighted now to be joined by Phil Rogerson. Phil, you just a bit of microphone technique there we have to do, otherwise we can't hear a word anyone's saying. Phil, a very big tie again isn't it, for Guiseley this afternoon. FA Trophy, final 32, prize money at stake.
Yes, absolutely.
Great, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's good to see quite a reasonable crowd just arriving. So as usual, 5-3. It's time to get to Nethermoor.
Well, that's part of the pleasure, isn't it? Yeah. Really, you can just roll in and enjoy the occasion.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What do you make of it? Obviously, Monday night was a great performance, a great result. But today it's got to be a different fixture altogether.
Totally different. So lots of changes in the team. Well, certainly in their team. We've got Reese out. Different pitch. I think it'll be a pitch on which we can play football, which will probably suit both sides. Whereas certainly Monday night was a lot of time in the air and trying to keep it off the grass, frankly. But no, it'll be. I really don't know. It's interesting. Nerve-wracking, shall we say.
Nerve-wracking, yeah. Keeping away from the game just here. Just getting all the players out at the moment. They're about to line up, go through the coin toss. But before we let you go and get your seat, it's going to be a tough period, isn't it, between now and Christmas, over Christmas, because it seems to be lining up to be a real pivotal time of the season now.
Well, it always is Christmas time, and the games come thick and fast. And but we've avoided injuries so far. A couple of weeks we might get Danny back. Lockie's out for a little while. Jack's probably out for a little while as well. But no, we've got a squad. We're bringing some of the youngsters in. So it's really good to see Ben on the bench today. We'll just take each game as it comes, as they say.
Each game as it comes. Very wise words, and not just a little cliche in there, as they say as well. But Phil, thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Sorry, we have to cut you short because the game's about to start.
We have to watch the game. Yeah, okay then.
Right, wonderful. Phil Rogerson there talking to us. Francis, obviously we're looking forward to this match. We have the two teams are out on the field. Guiseley and Bradford Park Avenue. Bradford Park Avenue have won the toss. They are going to kick off. They're going to be playing from left to right in their all-green kit, as is normal. And they get the game underway, and we'll go through the team lineups. Just at the moment, though, they're coming downfield with Alex Davison. Good tackle, though, from Gavin Rothery and a free kick to Guiseley. So we'll catch our breath, start the clocks, and just ask Tom, what do you make of the start, or what do you make of the way things are lining up between these two sides?
Well, both sides look like they're going to try and go for this game. Hopefully there won't be a replay. As much as we love going to the Horsfall Stadium, I think we're getting sick of the sight of it. But just when the two teams were shaking hands, there was just a bit of brotherly banter there. Nicky and Danny just seemed to be a word exchange there, which is always good to see. But, with Guiseley, Alex Johnson already just looking to making himself a presence, and that's great to see as Potts is on the ball.
Potts got the ball now, just comes over the centre circle, plays the ball down the left-hand side, releases Danny Forrest. Forrest well shadowed here by Howarth. Does well though. Forrest goes down to the touchline. Ball twisting and turning though back towards the goal line, the touchline. Back square now to Boschel. Boschel sprays a really good ball in there, looking for Brooksby. Taken away from him by St Just, who's come into this afternoon to the side after having a good performance ahead of the game with Guiseley on Monday night. And now Guiseley have a corner though, and it's Brooksby who will take this from the right-hand side as Guiseley attack this goal. Sprays the ball in, finds Danny Hall. Hall takes a shot, just can't direct it on target. Still with Forrest in the area. Takes the ball, passed across the face of goal. Headed goal bound there by Hall. Headed away. Now at the edge of the area, Hall takes another shot. And this time, just over the bar and behind. And what a moment that was for Guiseley early on in this game.
So unlucky for Wayne Brooksby there, because he's done everything right. Fantastic connection with the header. Goalkeeper's beaten. It's good defending on the line. Park Avenue, they had two men on the line there. They needed to have two men there, because if they didn't, it's 1-0 Guiseley, and it'd be the perfect start for the Lions.
Well, it almost was the ideal start. Danny Forrest gave us the perfect start on Monday night. He cut in and scored a beauty with the right foot. But this afternoon, Guiseley starting brightly already, and have thus far had the better of the early opportunities. The goal kick's taken, picking up by Johnson in the middle of the park. Gavin Rothery steps across just inside the centre circle, takes the ball away and hands it to Brooksby on the right-hand side. Good football from Guiseley in the middle of the park here, with Potts taking over, playing it back to Jake Lawler, playing at centre-half this afternoon. Ben Parker at left-back, plays the ball through, goes on an overlapping run, gets the ball back from Danny Forrest into the penalty area, gets it across the face of goal, up towards Wayne Brooksby at the back post. He can't make sure, goes in there to try and win the ball, taken away from him in the end by Jason St Just. And now Guiseley have to watch out, because Paul Walker makes another one of his runs into Guiseley territory, comes over the halfway line, keeps hold of the ball, tries to look to release Alex Davison, and Guiseley now having to enter a bit of a battle in the middle of that park, because it looked like they were going to concede possession when Nicky Boschel looked to step counter-attack here with Gavin Rothery. A long shot from distance, and it's well held. Getting my words mixed up there. Well held by goalkeeper John Lamb.
Fantastic play there by Michael Potts, getting into the area, clever pass to Rothery, and he's 25 yards out. It's worth the effort, and the keeper's done quite well there to get a hand onto it and save it.
Well, you saved my embarrassment there, Tom. It was a long shot, I'm proud to present. On the halfway line.
We can forgive you.
It's all professionalism here. Guiseley have conceded a free kick, and now Chilaka gets the ball for Avenue. Square here to Marshall. Back to Howarth. And Guiseley now just having to watch Avenue make some headway into their half. And it's Jordan Deasy now. Manager's son goes into the penalty area. Has got the ball down towards the byline. Great tackle from Jake Lawler. Only at the expense of a corner, but a surging run there from Deasy. It's a goal kick, yes, sorry, I looked down.
Well, all the Bradford Park Avenue players look bemused, and so am I, because Jake Lawler's made a fantastic tackle, got plenty on the ball, got it out for a corner. And, I think it speaks volumes. About 5 or 6 Guiseley players were running to the Guiseley penalty area to defend the corner. So a bit of a weird decision by the referee.
Well, fully, Guiseley have ridden the danger, but it was a wonderful run there from Jordan Deasy. And just goes to show the attacking intent that Park Avenue have. Yeah, when they get the ball down.
Well, they've got plenty of options going forward, and Jordan Deasy's such a skillful, tricky winger. He's going to be a danger throughout this match, that's for sure, but hopefully Guiseley can just offer that bit more going forward.
Now, ball with Andy Holdsworth, plays it up towards Alex Johnson. Johnson lays it back into the feet of Brooksby. Poor ball from Brooksby, goes past Rothery, but Brooksby doesn't give it up, chases down Howarth, does well. Howarth has to go back to the goalkeeper, Lamb, and he has the ball at his feet and opts to launch it long, looking for Chilaka. Now by Danny Forrest, under pressure. Past Howarth this time. Forrest really on form at the moment. Gets towards the edge of the area. Tries to go past 2 players. Can't in this instance. But Brooksby doing well. Following up. Getting the ball. Laying it back into the feet of Danny Boschel. Boschel square. Under pressure from his brother there. Lays it square to Potts. Potts back to Hall. Hall plays a good long ball in towards Alex Johnson. Well battled away though from Jamie Price. Playing at centre half it looks to me. And it's then long and something for Alex Davison to chase, but easily cleared all the way down towards the head of Danny Forrest and back to the goalkeeper. And I can catch my breath for a moment, Tom.
Well, isn't it fantastic to see a winger on form? Because Danny Forrest there, everything he does, there's purpose to it. There he gets past 2 defenders. He gets unlucky because it's quite out of his seat and Park Avenue are able to clear. But Forrest, it looks like he's fired up for this game, just like he was on Monday night.
At the moment, Guiseley and Avenue are locked. We've only had about 7, and there's been a chance for Guiseley to score already, but don't take this the wrong way. Avenue have certainly had pressure coming forward. They've looked good on the ball with some nice interplay, but Guiseley coming out of the traps well in this opening period. Danny Hall now has the ball, plays it forward, looking to pick out the target man, Alex Johnson once again, but this time it's taken a deflection, it's gone out for a throw.
Well, that's the beauty of this match. Both sides are so equal. This is one of them games where it could go either way. Guys have made the better start. Hopefully they can get a goal, but it'll be interesting to see, because Park Avenue, when they get the ball, they do look dangerous.
0-0 here still. Hall with the ball. Thinks it's square to Lawler. Infield now from Boschel into the feet of Brooksby. Brooksby and Potts combine nicely, and there's just a heavy touch from Alex Johnson when he eventually gets the ball that gives Nicky Boschel rather, a chance to pick the ball up, and then into the feet of Jordan Deasy. Some real family affairs going on here this afternoon. Jordan Deasy, of course, and John Deasy's son, and the Boschel's brothers on either side of the opposite teams. At the moment, Avenue just get the ball up towards the back line where Jake Lawler steps across, puts it into touch, picked up now by Deasy. Deasy goes past Brooksby, tackled well by Potts. Potts takes the return ball back off Gavin Rothery into the feet of Alex Johnson. Johnson keeps the ball moving, and so does Rothery. Out to the right now, Danny Forrest taking a position on the other flank. Right over on the touchline, gets it infield to Rothery. Rothery twists and turns, goes past his man, gets a tackle, or invites the tackle rather, from Clayton, and earns a corner for Guiseley on the right-hand side.
Fantastic play there by Gavin Rothery, because Guiseley can now get a few big men forward, the likes of Hall and Lawler, and the last corner, of course, they nearly scored.
Corner is taken short. Now it's into the feet of Rothery. Rothery just inside the area, gets the ball into the area, poked home. It's Ben Parker. Guiseley have the lead inside the 6-yard box. The curling shot in from found Parker. He's poked the ball into the net. Guiseley lead. It's Bradford Park Avenue 0, Guiseley 1.
Well, Park Avenue have really struggled the last to defend them, and it's such a clever ball there by Gavin Rothery, because Ben Parker, he's free in the area, he's got a free shot on goal, and it's a defender's finish because he nearly skies it over, but luckily it just goes into the back of the net, and Guiseley have scored.
And that seems to be the way, because to be fair, they can't see what's happening on the field. The goal scorer's got wrong again. It had been announced wrongly and then corrected. Ben Parker it was who has scored. And Alex Johnson took a bit of a knock inside the 6-yard, and that's perhaps the only downside of this, is that Alex Johnson seems to have a little bit of a niggle since the collision in the 6-yard box that he was involved with. It doesn't look to be running too comfortably at the moment.
No, he's already given 1 or 2 looks to the bench, and you know, he's one of these, he's a tough cookie. He really would like to continue playing, but he's stopped again. He seems to be starting and stopping. I think he'll just give it another minute, see how it feels, but it might be a substitution that needs to be required soon.
Well, we'll just keep an eye on that. At the moment, he's still going. And Guiseley have the ball played out towards Danny Forrest. Good tackle low from Howarth, up to the feet of Chilaka. Chilaka tries to go past Parker, the goal scorer, plays the ball in towards Nicky Boschel, taken away from him. Now, Alex Johnson having a tremendous battle there with Adam Clayton. Clayton gets the better of Johnson on this occasion, just muscles him off. And at the moment, Johnson moving fairly freely, and it's a throw-in anyway to Avenue.
Well, I think that's the best bit of news from that, is Alex Johnson just put his thumb up to the bench. It looks like he's all right. He's just had that little running battle there, and he looks all right now. Just for that moment, that it did look like he might need to come off with that injury.
Ball played forward by Parker into the feet of Johnson. Now Danny Forrest gets onto it, tries to get the ball in towards Michael Potts, who's waiting at the edge of the area. Blocked, goes out for a throw.
Well, there were just 1 or 2 people, who Guiseley players as well, had just appealed, but because it's gone out for a Guiseley throw, I don't think the appeals were going to be that strong. But it's a good position for Guiseley, and maybe that second goal will be coming.
Parker now with the ball in the left flank, gets it into the area, headed away though, and then Potts and Boschel combine and do well to get the ball to the feet of Forrest. Forrest with 2 players on him, does take Lawler back on the halfway line. Alex Davison chasing down any scraps that Hall might offer up, but Danny Hall just is too much of an accomplished centre-half. He shows a nice little piece of footwork, gets into the right places, and the ball is up to the halfway line. And at the moment, Guiseley are just toying with Avenue, getting the ball away from them until a long ball forward from Lawler goes over everyone, and Alex Johnson and back to the goalkeeper.
Well, a bit of trickery there by Hall that Johan Cruyff would be proud of. Fantastic there. 2 Bradford Park Avenue attackers, both fooled by that fantastic little turn. And, you know, it just at the moment, Guiseley playing with that confidence, that swagger, and it's so good to see.
Johan Cruyff. I think there may be a bit of exaggeration here for a moment.
I'll give him the credit.
Now, Avenue come forward down this right-hand side. Finds Alex Davison. Davison shadowed by Lawler. Well battled by Lawler. Davison goes to ground. No foul given, though, quite rightly. Clayton heads the ball away as Guiseley clear. Still in the Guiseley half. Danny Forrest having to play left-back for a moment. Gets it up to Alex Johnson. Taken down nicely by Johnson. Sprayed lovely into the feet of Gavin Rothery. On the halfway line now, Rothery. Few options. Plays another little ball into Boschel. Boschel square now to Andy Holdsworth. Holdsworth feeds it forward into the feet of Brooksby, and he has to come back as well. Guiseley just holding on to the ball here, but not making any headway in midfield. Holdsworth down the right-hand side finds Rothery. Rothery just inside the dugout, lays a lovely little overlapping ball into Danny Boschel, but Boschel's pass can't find Brooksby, and Avenue pick it up here with Chilaka just inside his own half, but he plays a complicated ball that's picked up well by Jake Lawler, and now Gavin Rothery runs at the back 4, gets the edge of the D, left-footed shot just wide of the uprights. Behind for a goal kick, but a good run there from Gavin Rothery.
Well, just for a second there, I thought that were going in. You know, as they're playing at the moment there, because although the move was intercepted, guys had 10 passes there, fantastic bit of movement there. And then Gavin Rothery's able to steal the ball, runs just to the edge of the penalty area, has a shot, and the keeper's worried. The keeper's worried, he thinks that might be going in. He dives, but luckily it just, well, luckily for Bradford Park Avenue, I should say, it goes wide.
John Lamb's just hit touch with his clearance. He won't be too pleased with that. Guiseley have the throw with Ben Parker on the halfway line on the left-hand side. Parker gets it back from Forrest. Onto the halfway line. Potts and Boschel holding onto the ball so nicely at the moment. Avenue seem a little bit encamped in their own half just in this spell. Guiseley lead by a goal to nil. Ben Parker the goal scorer on 9 minutes. About 14 minutes gone in this game. And at the moment, Guiseley are toying a little bit with Avenue.
Yeah, it's interesting to see because how well Avenue started when they had the ball, but just at the moment they can't get the ball. And the way Guiseley keep in possession, it's such a positive way they're playing. You know, I think Park Avenue just getting a little bit frustrated because John Deasy's already stood up. He's made one or two gestures to his attackers. I think he wants them to try and get the ball and win it rather than relying on the midfield to do that job for him. And at the moment, Guiseley, it's just plain sailing at the moment because Park Avenue can't get the ball and Guiseley are more than happy to keep possession.
There's a long way to go in this game, but it's looking good so far. Now a good ball down the right-hand side for Andy Holdsworth. Holdsworth just can't get on the end of it. It's a lovely surging run from couldn't control at the pivotal moment.
Well, it's unlucky because he's made such a good run and such a quick pace. It just doesn't outstretch his foot enough. If he had, you know, keep that in. But I think Park Avenue would have got the ball back. So maybe it's a case of just letting it go out of play. And guys will get it back immediately anyway, so no harm done.
Well, Danny Boschel has it on the halfway line. Lays it into the feet of Danny Hall. And then square now to Jake Lawler. Just, again, Guiseley just toying with their opposition. Good interplay, good passing on the halfway line. Not particularly incisive. Howarth eventually forced into a clearance. And picked up now by Danny Hall, who comes over towards the halfway line. Lays it into Gavin Rothery, who's playing quite deep in midfield here. Square now to Brooksby. Brooksby plays a rather dangerous ball. Chilaka was there to rob it from Parker. And then into the feet here of Nicky Boschel, who does well to turn Parker. Gets the ball forward, tackled by Danny Boschel. Ball bounces clean to Davison. Davison's beaten to it, and in the end it's going to be tidied up now by Danny Boschel up to the halfway line. Alex Johnson, heavy touch, has given the ball now to Alex Davison. Davison charging forward, plays it out here to Chilaka. Chilaka on the edge of the 18-yard box, tries to twist past two players. Now into the feet of DC. DC into the penalty area. Back here to Boschel. Boschel into Chilaka. Chilaka and Boschel combine. Boschel down at the halfway line, gets the ball across. Down by the byline, he got the ball right back across the 6-yard box, but there was Stephen Drench to pick it up. And now releases Alex Johnson. Johnson just almost had a sight of it because Adam Clayton and Johnson collided, but the ball went through to John Lamb anyway.
Well, it's just another incident where Park Avenue have got the ball and they look dangerous. And it's interesting to see just how far Ben Parker's getting forward so early on because there Chib Chilaka was able to use Nicky Boschel as more of a 2-on-1 with Jake Lawler because Ben Parker was stilling the Guiseley half running back. So I think that's something that Parker's already just indicated he will be staying back just that little bit more because Chib Chilaka looks dangerous and so do, well, all the other Bradford Park Avenue attackers.
Avenue have the ball in the centre half at the back line at the moment. Looking to try and create something more convincing than they've done so far. They might do so here though because Alex Davidson's chasing the ball down the left-hand side. He's won aside a corner after playing the ball off Hall. So this is a chance now for Avenue to press.
Well, that's really good play by Bradford Park Avenue because Danny Hall thinks the ball's going out of play and it's literally just keeping the ball in and just nicking it off Hall and getting that corner, and it's a good chance for Park Avenue.
The corner taken in, whipped in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Good header away by Boschel, only as far as St Just, who launches the ball back down towards the opposite side. Stephen Drench watches that one, collects inside the goal area, and then the danger passes, and Guiseley can look to build up an attack at the opposite end.
Well, just a bit worrying there when you see the corners coming in after how well guys have done with their corners, but with Park Avenue, that's giving the ball away, and guys are getting the ball back. And really for Park Avenue, it's the case now that maybe for the next 15-20 minutes, they should just be trying to calm down and not be really going for it because they look really frustrated, and hopefully guys are just going to be able to pick them off.
Now the ball chipped forward from Gavin Rothery, finds the feet of Alex Johnson. Certainly looks to be moving freely and fine. Lays it back to Jake Lawler. Lawler and Johnson combine once again. Johnson well battled and well pressed by Adam Clayton, but holds onto the ball and sends it back to Jake Lawler inside his own half. A little ball into the feet of Danny Boschel. Avenue getting players behind the ball now. And Guiseley finding it difficult to work out an opening. And then a poor ball by Danny Hall straight to Paul Walker. Walker charges forward towards the edge of the D. Can he get the shot away? He's got Ben Parker around him, and a good tackle there from Gavin Rothery in the end to tidy things up. And then eventually Parker helps, keeps the ball in touch. And tackle from Chris Howarth knocks it out for a Guiseley throw.
Well, that's all about the team spirit that's at Guiseley at the moment, because I don't think a few weeks ago you'd see someone like Gavin Rothery running the full length of the pitch to get a tackle in on the edge of Guiseley's own penalty area. You know, it's a poor pass by Danny Hall. I've never really seen him do that for Guiseley so far, but it's just a case that if Guiseley do have a lapse in concentration, Park Avenue will be in a position where they can get a goal.
Now Brooksby's got the ball on the right-hand side, up to the edge of the 18-yard box, tries to curl one in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Maybe a shot, I don't know, but it's gone behind either way for a goal kick.
Well, I think that's one of them where he's just got caught in two minds, because he looks like he's going to just try and get Danny Forrest. Forrest isn't particularly running into the area with much purpose, because he's waiting for the ball actually to be cleared. And so it means that Brooksby's, well, he just has a shot. I think it's a shot in the end, because it's never really going to get to a Guiseley player, and it's a bit of a wasted opportunity.
Ball's gone out, and it's going to be another Guiseley throw. Leading by a goal to nil here at Nethermoor in the FA Trophy, the Lions. Ben Parker it is who's scored the goal from left back. The ball curled into the area by Rothery, picked up inside the 6-yard box by Parker. And now a chance here. Forrest has just robbed Avenue, gets the ball down towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Held up, plays it back here to Gavin Rothery, just about level with the angle of the penalty area on the left side. Into the feet of Potts. Potts now finds Alex Johnson. Johnson has to try and work his way past three players, plays a lovely 1-2, and then Brooksby takes a shot from distance. No direction on it this time, and past the upright and behind for a goal kick.
Well, Brooksby just looked, when he just looked up, he saw that there were no real options on, so it was worth having a shot. It's not that far wide, it was never really going to trouble the keeper. John Lamb always looked like he knew that it was going to go a few yards wide. But again, Danny Forrest there, what a fantastic tackle that was by him. And he just looks so confident at the moment, and hopefully Wayne Brooksby can just get that bit of form going as well, because if he can, the chances he's able to create for himself, he'll be on the score sheet soon.
Lamb's just hit touch with his kick again. That's twice he's done that. Picked up by Ben Parker, now played into the area towards Forrest. Forrest just robbed there by Chilaka, who's working hard to get back there. Now the counter-attack's on. Boschel into the feet of Davison. Davison and Boschel looking to combine. Boschel slips over. Ironic cheers from the crowd here. And then Parker collects for Guiseley on the halfway line. And Danny Boschel just tries to calm things down. Potts just goes past Nicky Boschel, earns a free kick. And Michael Potts already showing his worth, I think.
Yeah, he is, because whenever he gets the ball, he just looks, along with Boschel, he just looks so calm on the ball.
Gavin Rothery now has the ball for Guiseley. Goes towards the edge of the area, down the left flank. Pushed away, plays it back here to Danny Forrest. Can he get the shot away on the right boot? No, he can't. Goes back now to Rothery. Rothery onside, down towards the touchline. Tries to go past Howarth. Gets the ball on the right foot, curls it in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Nobody on it. St Just is there, chests it down and clears up towards Alex Davison. Takes it down really well. Goes past Jake Lawler. Jake Lawler pulls him down. Referee says advantage, play on, because Paul Walker has it down the left flank. He starts another charge down that side. Plays the ball in towards the penalty area, but it's blocked and cleared. And now Wayne Brooksby and Holdsworth can clear, but I'm sure Jake Laura will have a talking to from the referee at the least for that tackle on Davison. Poor ball from Parker, well kept in by Danny Forrest. Parker plays one down the left-hand side. Rothery's not going to be able to chase that, and it's gone all the way back to the goalkeeper.
I'm not really sure why Jake Lawler made that tackle, because Park Avenue only had 2 men going forward at that point, and Guiseley had 4 men at the back, and it was on the halfway line, so it was a bit of a rush challenge, a bit sloppy, and I do think the referee should give Lawler a talking to, but hopefully not a yellow card, because it is his first offence, and there's no harm done. Davidson got up straight away. Yeah,
it was just a bit clumsy and in a dangerous position at a dangerous point, but we'll make mistakes. Now a free kick's going to be given to Alex Johnson for the pull. I think it was Jamie Price who was the offender. And Guiseley have a free kick sort of midway inside the Park Avenue half. In an opportunity, this one, to get the ball into the area rather than have a shot at goal.
Yeah, well, Wayne Brooksby immediately picked up the ball and said, I'm going to take this, so hopefully he can get across. It does look like it will be across with the amount of Guiseley players that are getting into the area. But of course, if it was Reece Maynell playing, I think he'd be taking this free kick.
And we've got Jake Lawler on the edge of the 18-yard box. They're going to aim it towards the edge of that D, I would think. Brooksby takes it, what looks like a shot, and it is, and it's tipped over by John Lamb. A great effort there from Brooksby. It was central. Lamb really shouldn't have been troubled by it. He wasn't. He tipped it over the park, and it's a corner to Guiseley.
Well, I think a lot of the Bradford Park Avenue players were a bit shocked, just like myself, that Brooksby's gone for goal, but he knows what he's doing there. It's a shot on target, and John Lamb, although he's not put under too much pressure...
Corner comes in, sorry, Tom, and it's headed in there towards Danny Hall. He heads it, goal-bound, from the penalty spot, just over the crossbar.
Well, it's a free header, Danny Hall, that no one picking him up, and yet again, Park Avenue, they're not marking certain individuals for Guiseley, and Danny Hall, free header, I saw him a few weeks ago, had a fantastic goal, and you know, I thought that was going to go in the back of the net because Danny Hall really should be getting that on target at the very least.
Well, the ball with Avenue inside their own half at the moment. Marshall comes over the halfway line. Shadowed by Potts, plays it towards Chilaka on the right-hand side. Ben Parker watches that very well. Turns Chilaka and then plays the ball square to Boschel. Very good defending there from the former Leeds man. The ball played forward up towards Alex Johnson. Taken away from him by Adam Clayton, and then Guiseley force Avenue into one or two troubles because they still can't get out of that final third, and eventually John Lamb has to launch it forward, headed back by Jake Lawler, and eventually the ball falls fortuitously more so towards Nicky Boschel. He can't control, launched clear by Ben Parker. I think that's gone behind for a goal kick in the end.
Yeah, it has, but you know, John Lamb's getting just a little bit frustrated. The amount of times Bradford Park Avenue defenders are passing the ball back to him, rather than trying to get the ball forward, it seems to be pass the ball to John Lamb and he'll just have to whack it forward. And that is why Guiseley being able to keep possession so often, because John Lamb's having to make hurried clearances, and the ball's normally landing to Ben Parker, who's able to then find either Forrest or Johnson.
Ball with St Juice, but he's muscled off here by Wayne Brooksby inside the Avenue half. Potts gets it on the halfway line from Brooksby. And then a foul on Danny Boschel gives Guiseley a free kick just on the edge of the centre circle.
Well, again, that's just really good play. Wayne Brooksby there, he doesn't give up the lost cause. And in the end, they get a free kick. And now this is a really good chance.
Chance here now for Alex Johnson. Turns his man, gets onto the edge of the area. Into the penalty area. He's got options inside the 6-yard box. Goes over it all the way back to Brooksby. Brooksby miskicks. And it goes behind for a goal kick.
That's set up for Wayne Brooksby perfectly. Alex Johnson knows exactly what he's doing. It's just on the half volley for Brooksby inside the area at an angle, and he's just completely mishit this. Gone straight out of play for a goal kick. And Bradford Park Avenue have got away with one there because Wayne Brooksby, if he hits it like I know he can, that's 2-0.
Well, you do feel the second goal is needed because Avenue do look sprightly on occasion. At the moment, Guiseley completely on top, I'd say. But games can change. And a second goal, I think, is needed. Can Danny Boschel do something with this ball on the left-hand side? Takes it from Danny Forrest really well. Into the feet of Johnson. Johnson trying to get past Clayton. Clayton wins that battle. Boschel comes in on the challenge. And now Avenue can counter-attack. Alex away from Hall into the Avenue half. Plays the ball in towards Chilaka. He was looking for Chilaka or Jordan Deasy. But the ball went past both of them and straight to the goalkeeper. Now there's a chance here for Guiseley as they counter-attack. Gavin Rothery comes over the halfway line, sends it to the right-hand side really well. Brooksby, though, just beaten to it by Paul Walker. And the chance and the momentum of that attack goes.
Well, just a few moments ago, Wayne Brooksby got caught in two minds. There Jordan Deasy does, because he either passes left or right to find a Park Avenue man. In the end, he passes straight down the middle, straight to Steve Drench, and it's, you know, that was a big opportunity for Park Avenue because they were in a position where they could have been 3-on-2, and instead, guys, they get the ball back and are able to.
John Lamb's distribution once again letting him down. Took the ball back to his feet, came out of the penalty area, and again hits touch with his clearance. Holdsworth now for Guiseley. from right back, trying to play it long towards Johnson. That's cut out, and now it's a chance here for Paul Walker and Jordan Deason to combine down the left-hand side. Holdsworth is unable to stop DC, but DC can't keep the ball in play, and it's out for a throw.
Because Holdsworth is able to make such a presence of himself, that's the reason Paul Walker's kicked this out of play, because if Holdsworth isn't there fighting for the ball, I think Walker's going to run right down the wing, and then he's got a chance to get the cross in. Instead, the danger's stopped, and it means guys to get the ball back, and Park Avenue, another position where they could have made something of that. Instead, they just give the ball straight back to Guiseley.
Feet of Gavin Rothery, found by Hall. Ball forward now, finds Johnson. Johnson once again being fouled. The referee gives it one way, the linesman gives it the other. The referee's word is final this time, but I think Jamie Price got a bit lucky there.
Well, the linesman there is flagging for a Guiseley free kick because it's pretty clear. I do think both are grabbing hold of each other, but the referee there has just apologised to his linesman because it is the referee's call that Park Avenue got that free kick, but the linesman was adamant it was a Guiseley free kick.
Referee today, Ian Hussin. He's been assisted on the far side there by linesman Brian McGill and Christopher Hope, who's got the red flag on this side. Guiseley have retained possession anyway because Avenue haven't been able to hold on to it. And now it's a chance here for Danny Hall to come up towards the halfway line. Plays it back to Drench, and at the moment Guiseley really untroubled, it has to be said, by Avenue inside their own half. Have time to come up to the halfway line and find Alex Johnson. Johnny Forrest into the feet of Brooksby. Brooksby plays a nice ball in here to Potts. Potts comes charging down the right-hand side, plays it into the feet of Holdsworth. Holdsworth gets a good ball into the area, looking for Johnson, headed away well. Up towards Danny Boschel only, though, who's got it on the edge of the centre circle. Plays another uncharacteristically poor ball forward, but it's taken a clip, I think, actually, to be fair, and it's gone behind for a corner.
Well, that's really lucky by Danny Boschel because he puts his hands on his head. He knows he's not put a good pass in there, but I think it's just because the reputation Boschel has with his passing. Park Avenue panicked there, and I think it's St Just who's just got a nick on there because he thinks, well, Danny Boschel's such a good passer, he must know what's happening.
Corner comes in now from Brooksby up towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Hall is the target man once again. This time he's leaning back as he tries to get on that one, and it's headed wide, and it's another goal kick.
Well, it's a tougher chance, that one, than the previous header by Hall, because this time there's two Bradford Park Avenue players pushing him back. He's having a head it off balance. And again, it's still a decent effort. And again, though, it shows that Park Avenue are not marking Guiseley players from corners.
Well, the ball's just been knocked out. It's going to be a throw-in for Avenue inside their own half. Into the feet here of Marshall. Marshall can't control. It's gone behind, or gone out rather, for another throw-in. Good work again from Guiseley there.
Again, good work from Guiseley, putting the pressure on. And again, more frustration by Bradford Park Avenue players because they just, at times, they just can't seem to get the passes going. And the way that Guiseley are putting them under pressure, that is not helping their cause.
The throw from Parker into the feet of Gavin Rothery. Into the feet now of Danny Forrest. Good ball from Parker to find Forrest on the edge of the D. He can't go past Jordan Deasy, who gets a good tackle in, but Potts tidies things up, keeps the ball going for Guiseley inside the Avenue half. Now with Brooksby. Brooksby gets it in towards Johnson. Johnson can't turn his man. Picked up now by Nicky Boschel. Up towards Davidson. Davidson chests it down on the left-hand side. He's shadowed well by Danny Hall. And in the end, Hall, I think it was perhaps being pulled at by DC, does well. And the ball goes all the way back to Stephen Drench and launched along for the head of Wayne Brooksby. Avenue retain the ball, though, from this. No, Gavin Rothery steps across, takes it off Richard Marshall. Now out to the left here where Danny Forrest can chase. Forrest sort of gives that one up. He looked like it was much closer to him from where we were sitting. And he just seemed to give that ball up before it was perhaps gone.
Interesting, because he's put his hand up a few times. I just for a second thought he might have been feeling his hamstring, because just when he started running there to get the ball, he just felt his hamstring for a second, and he's just indicated to the bench maybe something's up.
Yeah.
So that'd be a real shame.
Yeah, absolutely right, Tom. Absolutely right. I think he's just waved to the bench and he's going across there now. So I think we are going to have the first change sooner than we wanted. But at the moment, he's on the halfway line. Well, maybe wrong, but he did seem to wave to the bench there.
Yeah, someone. I think it's Craig Hobson who'll be coming on because he seems to be going for a run now. And again, Forrest has just felt his hamstring yet again, and he's now gone down. So it does look like he will be subbed.
Could the curse of Avenue strike us once again? We lost Danny Ellis, didn't we, in this fixture? Danny Forrest is down, and Martin Stringfellow's coming along to see if there's anything he can do with him. I think he's saying, nope, I'm off. And that's it for Danny Forrest this afternoon, who had started very brightly and is very unfortunately going to go off with a recurrence of that hamstring. And I think the changes on the bench, there's a few options. Ben Whitfield, of course, Craig Hobson and Louis Swain. Great to see Whitfield coming through from the academy. But I think it's more likely to be a Louis Swain or a Craig Hobson. I think it's Hobson who's going to come on in a minute. But he's still got to get his shin pads on and wasn't completely prepared to make his entry into the pitch. So we're down to 10 briefly. And this could be an opportunity, actually, from an Avenue perspective, to press, because guys, you've got everyone back in their own half. And with the feet of Adam Clayton, Avenue just don't seem to be able to get out of their own half. And, they don't seem to recognise the urgency of having the man advantage. The ball out here nicely with Nicky Boschel. Boschel now gets a good overlap in here with Howarth. Howarth into the area. Hits the chest of Danny Boschel. It's gone behind. It's going to be a Guiseley corner. Finally, the change can happen.
Well, this will be a really interesting one, because it's just going to be such a different dimension that Craig Hobson can opt for compared to Forrest. So we'll have to wait and see just how this is going to work now. Will Johnson maybe be playing more as the winger with Hobson going as the lead striker?
Well, it's Hobson's introduction is to defend a corner. And it's on the right-hand side as Avenue attack this Guiseley goal. The ball whipped in towards the 6-yard box, headed away. Well by Andy Holdsworth, and it just goes behind for another corner on the other side. A really dangerous ball in there from Paul Walker. Almost, I think actually it was Nicky Boschel, it was almost found his man. A second corner comes in from the left-hand side. It's whipped in again into the 6-yard box, headed away this time by Danny Hall. Only as far as St Just. St Just has got bodies ahead of him. If he can find them, he's forced out to the left-hand side. Can't get the ball away at the moment. In the end, does try to cross. Really good work there from Gavin Rothery, defending deeply and showing such industry.
Well, yeah, just for a second, though, I thought it was 1-0 because Holdsworth, it's a glancing header just going past the post, and Craig Hobson is...
In the ball into the area this time, looking for Alex Davison. Davison just unable to get on the end of it. Stephen Drench manages to take that one away, gives it to Lee Parker. Ben Parker comes down the left-hand side into the feet of Johnson. Johnson now goes back to the to the assistant manager Boschel. He sends it forward towards Hobson, but it's cut out here by Marshall. Marshall and Boschel combine in midfield, and eventually Jordan Deasy takes the ball. He's pressed into a bit of a loose ball, but Avenue still continue to retain possession, and it's still 1-0 to Guiseley. It's a slender lead. It doesn't necessarily reflect the pattern of the first half. It's Ben Parker who scored it inside the 6-yard box after a good cross in from Gavin Rothery. That's the difference between the two sides here. Now Potts gets the ball into the feet of Boschel. Boschel tries to twist and turn, but he's beaten to the ball this time by his brother. And now with 36 minutes gone, Jake Lawler wins the ball back on the halfway line. Gives it into Holdsworth. Holdsworth now to Brooksby. Brooksby turns. He's about 25 yards from goal. Takes a shot. It's a low shot that just clips past John Lamb and past the goal, and it's behind for a goal kick.
Well, it opened up for Brooksby there, and you can't blame him for having a shot, because John Lamb, he dives again. He's worried enough to dive. But Brooksby there, it just opened up for him, because Alex Johnson and Craig Hobson are able to just bring the Bradford Park Avenue defence to one side. And when it opened up, it's a good effort, but it's a few yards wide in the end.
Ball in the feet of Jake Lawler. Lawler sends it down the left-hand side, but beyond anyone and everyone, and out for a goal kick. It's been a quite eventful first 45, hasn't it? Well, not even 45, we've had 37 so far. Matt Bowers going to be pleased, isn't he, that the side have got the lead, but perhaps frustrated that we haven't grabbed that second yet.
Well, with the amount of chances Guiseley have had during this first half, they really should be more than a goal up. And it's just when you look at how dangerous Park Avenue have been when they've been getting forward, you know, this 1-0 lead, I don't see this game ending 1-0. And I think if Guiseley can't get a goal, Park Avenue will punish them.
St Just on the ball now for Avenue inside his own half. Under a bit of pressure. Gets the ball up to Paul Walker, but he's again facing towards his own goal. Lays it in towards St Just and making a little bit of progress, but still not able to get out of the half for Avenue. Now a long one here from Walker. Cracking ball here to find Chilaka. Chilaka takes it down the right-hand flank. He's almost down by the touchline. Tries to go past Parker. Gets the ball into the 6-yard box. Can't control. In the end, it's gone out of play and in for a goal kick.
Well,
just as some of our colleagues here thought that Avenue had got back on level terms.
Well, there's a few Bradford Park Avenue fans just behind that goal, and they all celebrated. They think it's gone in. Chilaka has just kept... I thought he'd kept it in, if I'm being completely honest. It must have just gone out, and in all fairness, no Park Avenue players protested, but got away with one there. For a second, I thought it was 1-1.
Just to describe it, Chilaka had the ball down on the goal line, the touch line, and put the ball back across the 6-yard box. It was tapped home, but in doing so, he was obviously already over the goal line before he passed the ball back across the 6-yard box. And to be fair, if guys had defended that as if that was live in that way, I think you'd have been furious because they were completely static. So it's still 1-0. And Ben Parker is still the man who's got the only goal of the game. And Avenue perhaps have been a little bit buoyed by that. But Craig Hobson's now just put a good tackle in here on Jamie Price. Wins the ball now as guys come forward now with Wayne Brooksby. Into the area to Alex Johnson. Johnson and Howarth come together. Ball to the back post. Hobson has it. It's cleared off the line. And then eventually put behind. And what does Craig Hobson have to do to actually score a goal? He gets on the end of it. A great ball there from Alex Johnson with the left foot. Finds Hobson. He heads it down. Cleared off the line.
From a defender.
Ball now here with Wayne Brooksby. Can't get past his man. Now into the feet of Danny Boschel. Potts plays it square. Into the feet of Hobson. Hobson now square here to Rothery. Rothery comes forward now with the ball down the left-hand side. Skips past one man. Goes into the area. Marshall gets a tackle in on him. And it's gone behind for a goal kick. Listen, I'm sorry if you've missed any of the action. We've had a slight power cut here. We should be back on air. If you can tweet us if you're tuning in, that would be great. Just to let us know that you're picking us up. It's Guiseley who have a corner, though. That's the good news. And now it's Wayne Brooksby. Takes it short, actually, towards Gavin Rothery. Rothery curls the ball into the area. Headed in by Hobson. Punched away by Lamb. Great chance there, and then a free kick's given for the follow-up, or something that happened in the follow-up there. But what does Craig Hobson have to do at the moment to get a goal?
Well, he must be cursed or something there, because that's another really good effort. Nice header. John Lamb makes the save, but Hobson is getting in all the right places. And I just can't believe he hasn't got a goal today, because he's only been on the pitch 10 minutes, but he really could have got 2 goals already. Once cleared off the line and once well saved by the keeper. Fantastic there by Hobson. Hopefully in the second half he can get that goal.
Guiseley still in the ascendancy, still lead by that 1-0 here on Guiseley AFC Radio. 1-0 to the Lions, but Bradford Park Avenue have the ball now on the right-hand side, and they have a throw-in about level with the edge of the 18-yard box. And at the moment, it's a quick throw here to Jordan Deasy. Deasy tries to go past his man, but Alex Johnson's now in defensive duties, playing as a left back for a moment, plays the ball out and then gets it back off Hobson. Hobson and Johnson combining nicely. Johnson charging forward, but he's just overhit it. It's going to be taken away from him by Clayton. Johnson doesn't give it up, but the referee gives a free kick. Rather tame free kick, if you ask me. But Johnson had the chance to put Hobson clear after Hobson did really well to control the ball. And it's danger gone once again.
Well, it's another case where Hobson, if that pass is made, Hobson's one-on-one with the keeper, and you've got to think he'd score, make that 2-0 and get that bit of confidence from getting a goal. But instead Johnson goes with the wrong option, tries to go himself, and then when he loses the ball he's a bit frustrated, pushes the Park Avenue defender over, and the free kick's given.
Now throw into Avenue, back level with the 18-yard box again, down this right-hand side, taken by Howarth into the feet of Chilaka. Chilaka and Parker having a battle. Chilaka gets the last touch on it, it goes behind for a goal kick. Just to repeat, if you're just picking us up, we hope we're coming through loud and clear, Guiseley AFC Radio. The goal from Ben Parker is the difference between the two sides at the moment. Guiseley still leading by a goal to nil. And we have 44 minutes gone of this game, heading towards the break with the Lions in a good position, but it could have been a lot better, couldn't it, Tom?
Well, it really should be, because how Guiseley have not got another goal, I'll never know. I think the main effort was Danny Hall, an effort where everyone is beaten, the goalkeeper's beaten, he's been able to get past two Bradford Park Avenue defenders with his shot, and it hits off the post, and what an incredible effort that is for a central defender. But Wayne Brooksby's had 2 or 3 efforts as well, and well, it just really is one of them games in which that second half now, I think Park Avenue will be in a position where they'll be a bit more confident, because they know they shouldn't be a goal down, they should be 2 or 3 goals down at the very least.
Well, Avenue have the ball just at the moment. Inside Guiseley's half, finding this man Chalaka, who's just not got into his flow this afternoon. Tremendous talent. And in the end, the referee has decided that that's enough. And it's been an eventful first for the ball over the line. At the break, though, it's the Lions who lead. It's a slender lead, though. It's Guiseley 1, Bradford Park Avenue 0.
Well, just the way guys have been playing during that first half, hopefully they can keep it going in the second half. It's very easy now for the players' heads to go down, because they've had so many chances, and they really shouldn't be a goal up. They should be 2 or 3 up. But I think Mark Bauer, is the kind of manager that will just say that, let's just continue the way we're playing, because Guiseley at the moment are coasting along. Of course, now what means is will Park Avenue just have that bit more confidence, that spring in their step, because they know they've got away with one, really, because they shouldn't be a goal down, they should be 2 or 3 down.
Yeah, it's been a very, very impressive performance from Guiseley, right up to being able to stick the ball in the old onion bag, really. I mean, everything but the goal, hasn't it? It's been in the last 40 minutes. But Guiseley do have a 1-goal advantage. They are in front. We're sorry we lost you for a little spell there. We had a power cut, as we seem to be doing at the moment up here in the press stand. And we come back on air, thanks to Sue Stocks, who's tweeted to say that we have been losing us a little bit, but we're okay at the moment. So thank you very much for your feedback across the course of this afternoon. We will hopefully be able to bring you the full second half commentary. At the break here, though, with Guiseley leading by a goal to nil, we're going to start to see if we can get some scores in from around the grounds and get the views also of our Twitter expert, Francis Granger. First of all, though, Tom, what do you think Mark Bauer is going to be saying to the Chargers at half-time?
Well, I think it's all about keeping the heads up, because just the way guys have been playing during that first half, just fantastic. It really has been. I think it's been the best attacking performance I've seen Guiseley display in, well, a good year, really. I think since the 7-0 against Droylsden at the start of last season. And so it's just all about keeping the heads up, because it's very easy now for the lads to just think, we can't score against them. We got the 1 goal, but we really should be at least, I'd say 4-0. It could easily be 4-0. Guys have had real chances since then. But I think Mark Bauer's the kind of manager, he'll keep the lads going. He'll keep the heads up. He's good at that. And, for Guiseley, it's a fantastic price to get past Park Avenue, go to the next round, and hopefully the lads can just, keep going. And, well, if they can get another goal early on in the second half, they'll be in a really good position.
Well, at the break, of course, with Guiseley leading by a goal to nil, let's have a look at some of the other goals that have been going in around the grounds in the Barclays Premier League. There was a few goals to watch on Match of the Day tonight in the game between Manchester City and Arsenal. 6-3 City won in the end. 6 goals to 3. That's incredible, isn't it, Tom?
Well, it's just unbelievable. When you look at how well Arsenal have been defending since the start of the season, I know Man City are good at scoring goals, and I know they're good at scoring 6 sides at the Etihad, but I didn't see that coming.
I don't think many people would have done. Cardiff 0, West Brom 0. Chelsea 2, Crystal Palace 1. Everton 1, Fulham 0. Newcastle 1, Southampton 0, West Ham 0, Sunderland 0. Tonight, Hull and Stoke take over the proceedings in the Premiership, in the Championship. Leicester 1, Burnley 1, Barnsley 1, Yeovil 1. Another good point there in the offing for Yeovil. Blackburn 1, Millwall 1. Blackpool 0, QPR 0. Bournemouth 0, Birmingham 2. Charlton 0, Derby 1. Listen to this. Doncaster 0, Leeds 1.
All right.
Big scoreline there for Leeds. Huddersfield 0, Reading 1. So Huddersfield still struggling, just can't seem to get back into winning ways at the moment after that defeat at Ipswich last week. Middlesbrough 0, Brighton 0, Forest 0, Ipswich 0, and Watford 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. So that one's a bit of an eye-opener, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So let's just go down, see if I can get some scores from League One. Of course, Bradford City playing this afternoon at home to Leyton Orient. Shrewsbury 0, Walsall 1 was the earlier game, early kick-off, so Walsall getting 3 points there. Bradford 0, Leyton Orient 1 is the half-time score there. Brentford 0, Oldham 0, Bristol City 0, Rotherham 2, Carlisle 1, Tranmere 0, Colchester 0, Notts County 2, Coventry 1, Crewe 1, Crawley 0, Preston 2, Gillingham 0, Peterborough 1, Port Vale 1, Stevenage 2, Sheffield United 0, Swindon 0, and Wolves 0, MK Dons 1. So that's a pretty impressive scoreline from MK Dons' perspective.
I think they'll take that.
It's disappointment for City, no doubt, to find themselves a goal down at Orient.
Yeah, I think, well, when you look at the way Leyton Orient have started the season, it has been a fantastic start by them. So for City to be only a goal down, I think the way they've been playing, the likes of James Hansen, who's of course signed that new contract, you know, maybe the second half the heads will be up and they might get that equalised, and you never know, might get all 3 points.
Well, you never know. They might need a bit of that Guiseley magic that James Hansen used to provide here. Of course, we've got the new ones all coming through now in Alex Johnson and Danny Forrest. Well, he's not new, is he? Yeah, we've got plenty of quality on the squad at the moment, so always opportunities for players to be looking ahead at the example of James Hansen. Rabbiting on here, Sky Bet League 2, Accrington 1, Exeter 3, Wimbledon 0, Mansfield 0, Burton 0, York 0, Bury 1, Northampton 1, Cheltenham 2, Hartlepool 0, Chesterfield 2, Plymouth 0, Morecambe 0, Bristol Rovers 1, Oxford United 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 1, Portsmouth 0, Newport 0, Rochdale 1, Fleetwood 1, Torquay 0, Southend 0, and finally Wickham 0, Scunthorpe 0. Don't worry, Tom, I won't ask you for any views on that particular bunch of results. Only to say just how well Oxford United are doing in that division this season. A team, of course, who came up from the conference not that long ago. Yeah,
well, I think when you look at the fact that their manager was touted for the Portsmouth job a few weeks ago, of course, they've now got someone else in, but, you know, he's done such an incredible job with, you know, I've got to say a core amount of players that were in the conference to be doing so well in League 2. I think it just shows that you can take a team up a division and keep the core players there and it be a success.
Well, at half-time in the conference, it's Dartford 0, Halifax 0. Halifax obviously were looking for their first win on their travels, I think, and Dartford in really bad form at the bottom of the conference Premier, so something has to give there. Kidderminster 1, Alfreton 0. That's the only other conference Premier game that's going on this afternoon. There's a couple of fixtures in Conference North, and if we get some scorelines on those, we'll bring you them. We're still waiting for any news of the fixtures between Colwyn Bay and Histon, Gainsborough Trinity and Vauxhall Motors and Hensford and Stalybridge. Harrogate Town at half-time are 1-0 up against Gloucester City, so that'll be a big scoreline. And Stockport and Brackley are goalless, and Workington 0, Telford 1 is a scoreline as well. So some interesting ones there. Telford trying to get back on winning ways. Yeah. They look dangerous, don't they, in a dangerous position just behind those playoffs at the moment.
Well, I think, you know, they were my tip at the start of the season to be really pushing up there, and I'm surprised they're not in that pack at the moment. You know, when you look at the amount of players they got in and the amount of talent they've got, they really should be a team that you have to consider to be one of the favourites to at least get a playoff spot come the end of the season.
Well, Francis has gone for a wander, so I was expecting us just to have a quick chat with him now, but he's just disappeared for a second. We'll keep an eye out for him, just see if there is anything in the trophy that we've got coming through, but doesn't seem to be any scores in that. Finally, we'll just go through the Scottish Premiership in case anyone has any interest. Tom Feeney. Aberdeen 1, St Mirren 0, Hearts 0, Inverness Caledonian Thistle 0, Kilmarnock 0, Dundee United 0. It's great, this Scottish football lark, isn't it? Partick Thistle 0, St Johnstone 0, Ross County 0, Motherwell 2. So at least somebody scored. And the one that I'm sure you're most interested in, Celtic 1, Hibs 0 at half-time. So
need that after the loss against Barcelona.
yeah, it was
the drubbing.
It was an absolute thumping, wasn't it? Really,
it was. And I think Neil Lennon was, gracious enough to admit that. He just said the players didn't turn up, Barcelona's did. But when you look at the fact that their players costs more than the whole Celtic squad combined in Neymar, it's scary when you consider the amount of money that is spent within European football.
Well, things are a little bit different here, aren't they, at Nethermoor? The break here, Guiseley are leading by a goal to nil. If you're just joining us on Guiseley AFC radio, the goal was Ben Parker after 9 minutes in that first half. And in the meantime, I think what we'll do now is we will have a chat, or we'll go to an interview that we had a little while ago, just before the teams come back out. And it was when we were playing at Nethermoor. We had a visit from a very interesting guy, Mick Newton, who was representing My Football Club. And My Football Club are very fascinating, and obviously well known for their involvement with Ebbs Fleet, and now sponsors, or real owners actually, of Slough. And Mick came down and wanted to have a chat with us, find out what we did actually in terms of the radio here, which was very gratifying and nice to know. As I'm just trying to do all this jobs with one hand, you'll just have to bear with me, Tom. He chat with us here at Nethermoor, and he was with our radio setup here, really to see if they could replicate it. And this is the conversation that I had with back in October. I'm joined now by Mick Newton, the Vice Chairman of My Football Club. Mick, great to have you here at Nethermoor. Just tell us a bit about My Football Club, where it all started a few years ago, and obviously it's been through quite a change and transformation recently.
It has. We bought Ebbs Fleet in February 2008. Been going for 6 months before that to get members together. It was started by a journalist, Will Brooks, and then we took over Ebbs Fleet, who were conference, as they were then, conference premier, and we've had them for 5.5 years. First year we reached Wembley in the FA Trophy final and won it. Over 40,000 at Wembley, 28,000 for Ebbs Fleet from every corner of the globe, which was a wonderful day out. Obviously better for the win, and we've stuck with them through thick and thin. We've had 2 relegations, the last one this season just gone, and we sold the club to a QAT investment company. And we're now sponsoring Slough Town for 2 years. Great deal for us. Publicity, we've got the away shirts as well, which we're selling to our members and to Slough supporters, which is raising money for Slough as well. But we are essentially a members club. Things are decided by the members, not by myself and the board. If a member makes a proposal, it's seconded by 50 people, then goes to a discussion and then goes to a vote.
I mean, that was the principle behind the whole concept, wasn't it? Taking the ownership, putting it in the hands of everyday folk. But it did run into some controversies around how much decision taking they could take, particularly around who could choose a team.
Yes, originally there was... the slogan was own the team, pick the team. Unfortunately, the pick the team didn't work at the beginning at all, never appeared. It appeared for 12 months, which upset a lot of people. But they wanted to play Football Manager for real, which I think a lot of people didn't agree with. And when it did finally appear, not enough people voted to pick the team. My personal view was, we own the football club, but we have a manager to run the team. And the one thing I kept stressing was, if 10,000 people pick the team, and we fail and lose the first 10 matches, we sack all those people from picking a team. Who then picks the team? We've got to revert back to the manager. So it seemed an illogical step for us in that way. It was absolutely stupid. And we did lose some members because of it. I mean, we're now down to a sort of a happy band of 900. But they're all fairly loyal. We have a board of 3, of which I'm vice chairman. And everything's done by vote, that's how it works. It is a little bit long-winded because we have to get a vote, we have to get it seconded, it then goes to discussion for a week and then goes to a vote. But we make those decisions, and that's how we came to Slough Town. There were 9 or 10 clubs that we looked at, whittled down to 3, and Slough ended up as a winner. So we supported them.
So what sort of decisions do you take with Slough then?
At the moment, it is only...
Well, sorry to interrupt you there, Mick. Teams have come out and we're ready for the second half. A little quicker than we anticipated. In fact, we've just got underway for the second period. And apologies to Mick, we'll try and bring that back. At the moment, guys, you have the ball down the left-hand side at the moment. Just trying to get something into the area, and it's picked up now by Alex Johnson. No, the break that we've seen. Ball back now with Boschel. Boschel plays it into the feet of Potts. And in the end, it's down the left-hand side once again, looking for Ben Parker. Well held, well watched there by Chris Howarth, but knocks it out into touch. And it's going to be a throw-in to Guiseley down the left-hand side. Good start by Guiseley, really energetic. Alex Johnson making his presence felt like he did in the first half. And, you know, that's really important because I think I was expecting Park Avenue to be the team to come out and really try and get that goal. But it looks like Guiseley are the team that have got the heads held high. And I think that's because Mark Barr must have said something during the half-time, which is, you know, the sign of a good manager. Well, you wouldn't imagine he'd have been too happy that we hadn't got that second goal after the 45 minutes of football that we put in, and will be no doubt very aware of the propensity of football to come back and bite you. Well, that's why getting this second goal as early as possible is so important, because when you consider how many chances Guiseley failed to take, it's, you know, just one of them where you can just see Bradford Park Avenue getting a goal sometime during this half. Free kick now to Guiseley. They've got one in a dangerous position now. It's about 5 or 6 yards up from the angle of the penalty area on the left-hand side as they attack this goal. Bit of a breeze building up here at the ground. Wayne Brooksby has a chance now to get this ball in towards the penalty spot. The big men are up from centre-half. Lawler and Hall waiting to get on to the end of it, but the referee just trying to sort things out. Brooksby whips this one in, goes in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, well held by John Lamb, and now Avenue can clear their lines. Well, it's the first time while Guiseley have taken a corner where Park Avenue marked every single man, and, you know, I think first half Park Avenue seemed to be displaying zonal marking for their corners, and now it just seems to be man marking, and from the evidence of that effort there, it's been a success so far for Park Avenue. Well, Guiseley have the ball now with Hobson. Square now to Rothery. Rothery's got few options ahead of him, so he goes back to Holdsworth. Holdsworth puts it down the right-hand side. Of course, there's no Danny Forrest now, who might have been occupying that position. Craig Hobson, who prefers a more central role, is on in his place after Forrest went off with a hamstring injury in the first half. But the throw's taken and cleared only as far as Holdsworth. Now he plays it square to Johnny Boschel. Boschel can get a shot away. It deflects back off a bad Park Avenue man. And then Alex Johnson gets a volley in on goal, but that just goes wide of the mark. A wonderful little moment there for Guiseley. But once again, nobody seems to be able to hit the back of the net since Ben Parker did so after 9 minutes. Well, I appreciate the technique there by Johnson, because he waits for the ball just to drop down to his foot, and then it's a fantastic effort, and I thought that had gone in, because I think John Lamb is just flat-footed. He thinks that's gone in as well, and there's one or two Park Avenue fans who did as well, but there we go, it's still 1-0, and again, I don't know how. Saint-Just has got the ball now for Avenue, just inside the Guiseley half. Back here with Clayton on the halfway line. Clayton leaves the ball down to the right-hand side, picked up by Davidson. Davidson gets the return ball, gets the ball into the area. It's a dangerous one, just goes beyond Chilaka and out for a throw-in. But it could have gone anywhere, that, Tom, couldn't it? Yeah, dangerous. In a word, it was a dangerous pass. It's one of them where Park Avenue, if they'd have committed one or two men more men forward, easy for me to say, you know, someone's going to get their head on that, and it's a very good chance, because it would have just been Steve Drench to beat. Guys at the moment are under a little bit of pressure here, and they've just conceded a free kick just a couple of yards in from the touchline. And it's a chance now for Jordan Deasy to distribute this ball into the area. There's green shirts lining up at the edge of the D. Deasy does distribute it up towards Chilaka, headed away well by Jake Lawler, now picked up by Potts. Still inside his own half. Plays it into Rothery. Rothery Forward up to Hobson. Hobson's got Brooksby going down the right-hand side. Johnson down the left. Johnson's the target man. Back to Hobson now from Johnson. Hobson takes a shot from distance. Bit of a grass cutter. Not a real threat to it, and it goes wide for a goal kick.
Well, despite the fact at the moment he can't seem to get on the score sheet, Craig Hobson's offering so much more than he did at the start of the season under Steve Kittrick, because he can actually pass the ball. You know, start of the season he was just a target man. Now he's being used in a position where he can pass the ball a bit, and he's pretty good at that. He just needs a goal, and that was a frustrating effort there because he's never going to make anything of it.
Wayne Brooksby's just robbed Nicky Boschel, plays the ball up towards Hobson. Well shadowed though and cleared eventually by Price, and now it's up here to St Just. Up towards Nicky Boschel again. Danny Boschel steps across and makes sure that he doesn't get anywhere near the ball.
Well, the two brothers know so much about each other there, because Nicky just tries to outsmart his brother there. Danny's having none of it, and it's a nice clearance, and it goes out for a throw-in.
St Just takes a throw. Guiseley fans not happy that he wasn't stealing 1 or 2 yards. But Avenue can't make it pay anyway. Can't go down that right-hand side. And eventually Guiseley clear the lines, but it's out for a throw. Don't forget, if you are listening, if you are tuning in, we appreciate your feedback, good and bad. We only read out the good, though. No, you've been very kind so far. But also just to help us know that you're coming through loud and clear. Sue Stocks, thanks for letting us know that you were picking us up in the first half. 1 or 2 dropouts, but stick with us. The stream seems relatively strong today. Guiseley leading by 1-0. Now a long ball forward here, almost allowing Paul Walker to get behind the back four there. Stephen Drench quickly off his line, collects at the edge of the 18-yard box.
Just a little warning there, because Paul Walker, if he gets that ball, he's through on goal. And Andy Holdsworth just pointing to the 2 centre-backs saying, keep focused, because they just dropped off there and Paul Walker could have been in.
Guiseley at the moment have the ball on the halfway line. So yes, Guiseley Radio, at Guiseley Radio is the Twitter feed. Let us know your views. Any feedback about coming technical connection would be greatly received. Long shot from distance here from Potts. Takes a couple of deflections off Avenue men before going all the way back to John Lamb. Lamb plays the ball long, and it's gone well and truly out of touch. It bounces around in the stand here. I think there was a good header actually down there. Sign him up, I think. There's a good touch from the member of the crowd in this stand here. Ball back in play now. I don't know what to say now, actually, to be honest, Tom. Picked up here by Michael Potts, but good tackling on Potts by Marshall. And now a chance here for Davidson to start another attack for Avenue as they need to get back into this game. Up towards Chilaka. Stephen Drench has to come out of his area and collect. Francis is finding something funny down here on the left-hand side.
I don't know what he's laughing about, but we'll never know. Anyway, you know, it's just been really good play by Guiseley, just the last 2 minutes, because I think Park Avenue were just trying to up the momentum, and Guiseley been able
now
to take
chance here,
out.
sorry Tom, chance here for Johnson. He gets the ball in the edge of the area, tries to play it through towards Gavin Rothery, but just couldn't complete the pass. Picked up again here. Now Johnson on the edge of the area, takes a dipping shot. Oh, it's just wide of the mark, but it was an excellent drive there from Alex Johnson. Picked the yards from goal, had a drive with it, connected really well. It was initially going high, but dipped down quickly afterwards, but just unfortunately was wide of the mark.
Well, I think the wind's playing a little factor in that, because there's just a few gusts of wind at the moment, and it just seemed to take the ball a bit away from goal. So if there wasn't any wind today, I don't know, would that have gone on target? Because Johnson seemed like that was a shot he was proud of, and one he thought might be nestling into the top corner.
What we could do with a second. St Just now back to goalkeeper Lamb. Lamb holds on to the ball. Hobson comes across to try and close down the clearance. Bounces now towards the feet of Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby under pressure from DC. Does well, plays it back to Holdsworth. Holdsworth hoiks one into the air. Nodded down by Brooksby and into the feet of Potts, who scurries himself around and gets the ball now into Gavin Rothery. Rothery heads towards goal, takes a wonderful shot with a left drive. Just wide of the mark again. But an absolute rasping drive there from Gavin Rothery, just on the edge of the D, almost into the net.
Incredible effort. I'm nearly speechless how many chances Guiseley have had in which the ball's just gone a whisker wide of going into the back of the net. That time I thought that was going in, because Rotherham's done everything right. The technique's brilliant. And again, I just think the wind has just taken that ball wide.
Now Avenue can come forward here. Boschel from distance takes a great shot. Well saved from Stephen Drench. Now there's time for Hall to clear, but he has to put it out into touch for a throw-in. But Nicky Boschel just picked up the ball in the centre of the field, took a rasping drive from distance. Stephen Drench saves. Well, this time, the first time really he's been called into action this afternoon.
That's the mark of a good goalkeeper, because he's had nothing to do during the first half, and now he's made a really good save.
Tackle here on Nicky Boschel, who picked up the throw. And it's Guiseley throwing. It's rather fortuitous that, because Potts got the tackle in, but it took a clip off Boschel and out for a throw-in. But just a sign there that even though we're in the ascendancy, this game could quickly turn on an instant.
Well, Park Avenue are dangerous, and that's all they need. One chance, if they take it, it's 1-1. So just that need for that second goal.
Good ball forward here. It finds Walker, but Walker's got the offside flag. I have to say, I think that's a little harsh. I'm not sure Paul Walker was in an offside position. Possibly Chibchilaka, who was returning. Either way, the ball was played across the back four. Walker made an overlapping run, it seemed to me, but he was called offside. Possibly, I think, because the original ball was played towards Chibchilaka. What do you make, Tom?
Well, Holdsworth has got his eye on the line of the defenders, and he's running with Walker when that pass is made. So I think that proves that Holdsworth thought he wasn't offside. And it's quite a late flag as well. I think he kind of put it up, realised the ball wasn't going to go to Chulaka, but then thought, I've already put it up, so I'll have to keep it there. But he knew he'd made a mistake.
Stephen Drench has the ball at his feet anyway on the edge of the 18-yard box. Up towards the halfway line where Wayne Brooksby convincingly heads it back into the own half, and then it's picked up now by St Just, and good movement here from Avenue down this left-hand side. Danny Hall just steps across, but Paul Walker still trying to rob the ball back off Hall. Walker rather naively goes in for the challenger and concedes a free kick just when I think Hall's in a bit of trouble.
Well, yeah, Hall's in the corner. He's got no real options, and I do think he either kicks it out for a throw-in or he has to lump it up forward and see what happens. But there, he's just invited Walker to make that tackle, and that's good defending by Hall. And Walker's fallen for it, makes the tackle. And, you know, it's a bit of an error there by the Bradford Park Avenue attacker.
Well, Avenue growing into this game in the second period. And at the moment, the Lions, who lead by 1-0, just feeling a little bit more pressure coming from Avenue as the wind begins to play its part in the field. Hobson's just gone down there, no free kick given for the tackle of Richard Marshall. Ball played long, looking for Chilaka, escapes him. Drench has to clear. High up in the air, can't keep the ball in play. It bounces back into this stand once again. It seems to be coming into this stand an awful lot. The throw-in taken now by Price. He plays it into the feet of Paul Walker. Paul Walker releases St Just very well. St Just can get the ball into the area. His left-footed cross, not the one that he would have wanted. Might have caught the wind as well. And it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Well, again, Park Avenue getting into a dangerous position. Luckily there, they make nothing of it. I do think they're trying to get us with the ball. It's going to end up in this area sooner rather than later. But, you know, Park Avenue, they are just looking that little bit more dangerous than they did in the first half. And again, it's just another little warning there for Guiseley. But I've got to go back to Craig Hobson, because I do think he was fouled in the build-up to there, because there's two men and they both grapple with him. And the referee indicates that Hobson's gone down too easily. Well, in my opinion, it should have been a free kick.
Well, the referee didn't give it. And anyway, there's a goal kick to Guiseley. Looks like there's going to be a substitute for Avenue at some point. There's a player stripped off and ready to go. At the moment, though, they're doing much better in the second period. Paul Walker now just getting past Hall. Hall is judged to have fouled Walker. Free kick to Avenue. 2 or 3 yards in from this left touchline. And a chance here for Jordan Deasy to distribute. But just before that, we will see the substitute. And it's going to be Chibchilaka who's making way for Tom Corner, who came on in the second half for Avenue in that fixture on Monday night as well, Tom.
Yeah, well, I just think with Chilaka, he is a really good player at this level. Today, it's just not really got going for him, minus the chance he had, which actually some Park Avenue fans thought was a goal after it went out of play. You know, he's not really done much, and Tom Corner, he will offer that bit more height and something a little bit different.
Free kick taken by Jordan Deasy up towards the penalty spot, headed well away, only as far as Marshall. and then looks for Alex Davison, but robbed really well now as Ben Parker takes the ball over the halfway line. He's got Hobson to his left if he can find him. He finds Hobson. Hobson still some 20 yards from goal. He's got 3 players in the area if he can pick them out. Potts is one of them. It's headed down by Potts towards Parker, cleared, and anyway there's an offside flag on that near side, but almost the perfect counter-attack. But once again, Guiseley, when the opportunities present themselves, aren't taking them.
It's frustrating, but you know, Hobson's made the right choice there, because I thought he was going to have a shot from 20 yards out because he needs that goal. In the end, the cross into Michael Potts, he's just put a little bit too much on it. In fact, if Potts was Hobson's height, he'd have got to it, but just that little bit too much, and it means that Guiseley, in the end, give away the offside because they're having to push so many men forward.
Avenue have the ball in their back four at the moment, but much more of the play is in Guiseley's half than it was in the first half. And at the moment, Avenue are on top. Headed away by Hobson. Played back forward by Clayton. Looking for a break, and it's a chance here. They've gone through on goal. Tackled well by Stephen Drench on Davison, who was sent clear, but the ball's still in play. Can come back into the penalty area. It finds Davison. He kicks a shot. A wonderful save. Oh, absolutely super save from Stephen Drench to deny him, and it's gone behind for another corner.
What a save by Steve Drench, because you know what, he's not had to do much during this match. That is a crucial save. I think it's going in. He's been able to just get something on that and push it out of play for a corner. But after what he'd have to do beforehand.
Corner now to Avenue. The ball whips in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, goes over everyone. St Juice can't keep that one, and it's gone out for a throw-in. Really, if you were an Avenue fan, you'd be thinking, well, we should be back on level terms after that.
Yeah, it's just fantastic goalkeeping there by Steve Drench. And, you know, Steve Drench at the start of the season had his critics because he did make 1 or 2 silly mistakes, but he's really proving himself to be an asset to this club yet again. Of course, I think it's 7 games without conceding. He's been on an incredible run, and he's extending that run right now.
Well, let's hope so. It's not over yet. Avenue have been given the throw-in here by the referee. The home fans are just a little bit aggrieved by that, but there's going to be yet another substitute. Avenue changing things around once again. This time, Adam Clayton's coming off, and it's going to be Scott Maxfield who comes on in his place. Not to forget that Avenue are without Knowles, without Hott. They've got a few injuries that have plagued them in recent weeks. So many respects they were expected to find it tough this afternoon, but in this second period, Tom, they're really showing what they've got.
Well, yeah, but they're in a position where they're allowed to do that, because on another day, Guiseley would be maybe 2 or 3 goals ahead, and you know, it's just a case that Park Avenue, they just have
ball
that
now. Sorry, Tom. It's ball now here with Nicky Bosch. It comes into the area, takes a shot from the edge of the D there. Alex Davison, who gets on the end of it, and then his drive just wide of that right upright, and it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Well, the way it's hit the advertising board and then hit the back of the net, from where I'm sat, it's like it might have just nestled into the bottom corner. Luckily it didn't, and Steve Drench did seem confident enough to leave it. But Park Avenue now, they're just getting that bit more pressure going, and it's feeling a lot like Boston United last Saturday, where guys, they were really having to hold on until the very end.
Not too many options on the bench now for Guiseley. They've already had to make 1 change. Avenue battling hard in midfield, and then another free kick. Gavin Rothery bringing down Nicky Boschel. And once again, it looks like Avenue will go long. It feels like the wind's in their sails in this second period. Still 1-0 to Guiseley, but there's plenty of time for them to get back, for Avenue to get back into this. Ball square now here to Paul Walker on the edge of the area. Cleared well by Danny Hall. Hall up towards Hobson. Hobson can't get ahead of 2 defenders that are showing him such close attention here. And then it's lofted clear by Lamb. And it's going to go out for a throw-in, and for once the ball is in the Avenue half.
Well, that's just good to see that Guiseley are just in a position now where John Lamb's made that error, and it just gives Guiseley that bit of breathing space. And hopefully they can just calm down now and Hobson can keep the ball.
Oh, Andy Holdsworth has just been pulled up for a foul throw. I must admit, I did think he sort of pulled it a little short, but you don't tend to see them given, do you? 67 minutes gone. 1-0 to Guiseley. Avenue now pressing here with Paul Walker. Goes past 2, 3 players. He's just ghosting past the defence there for a moment. Good tackle from Gavin Rothery. Helped away by Potts. Only as far as Marshall. Marshall takes a drive from distance. Saved by Drench. Recovered just in time by Stephen Drench from the deflection before Paul Walker could get onto it. Now Wayne Brooksby comes over the halfway line as Guiseley look to counter-attack. Under tremendous pressure, Brooksby plays it in towards Hobson. Hobson can't get it. Ball goes back to the goalkeeper, Lamb, who comes off his line very well. And the danger pass is an absolutely breathless moment or two there.
Well, Steve Drench there, it's a routine save and he should really be catching it, but he's got the awareness there to just get back up off his feet very quickly and collect the rebound. If he doesn't, Marshall scores and it's 1-1. And then going back up here, Wayne Brooksby, a fantastic run, tries to find Hobson. I thought he had just a little bit too much on it, and it means Park Avenue are able to defend it.
Now Guiseley get the ball from the clearance. Now it's with Alex Johnson down the left-hand side. Can he get past Howarth? Gets into the area. He's pulled, goes to the goal line, plays it across the 6-yard box, beats everyone and goes wide. Deflected wide by an Avenue man. It's gone behind for a corner to Guiseley, but that again could have been the second goal. Great work from Alex Johnson. Just couldn't find his man in the area.
You've got to feel for Craig Hobson there because he's taken a big lunge at it.
And now a corner comes in from this right-hand side. It's being teed up by Wayne Brooksby. Plenty of white shirts in the area looking to get onto the end of it. Goes in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away. Now it's going to be completed by Marshall. Marshall under pressure from Gavin Rothery. Rothery is forced into making the block and it's gone out for a throw.
Well, back to the Hobson incident there because he's taken a big lunge at it and it's actually gone through his legs. It hits either foot, it's going into the back of the net and Hobson finally gets his goal. But that doesn't happen, and in the end, Park Avenue are able to clear as they make their final sub.
The incredible 20 minutes of football that we've got ahead of us. They looked like they were going to make a sub. And then, I'm not sure if it was Dermot McMurray is the man who was number 17, was it? But anyway, he sat back down. John Deasy saying, no, not just now. The throw is taken by Avenue inside their own half in the left-back position. Goes out for a throw-in to Guiseley. And there is no hurry from the Guiseley players just at the moment. So the man who recovers the ball is Tom Corner and gives it back to Andy Holdsworth. No foul throw this time, hopefully. And he does this time play a good one into the feet of Hobson. Hobson with 2 players around him under great pressure from Marshall. Can't go through 3 of them though, and St. Just takes it off his foot. Marshall gets it up to the halfway line. Davison is beaten to it. Now Guiseley can counter-attack now down this left-hand side. Danny Boschel needs to play a good ball in this time. Plays it square, in fact, down the left channel towards Johnson. Johnson running down towards the goal line is beaten and is tackled, and the ball goes up to the halfway line where Corner, under pressure from Lawler, concedes a throw-in. I actually thought for a moment Lawler was going to be to go closely through him on the back, but now Guiseley have the ball here with Boschel into the feet of Rothery. Surging run from Rothery. Poor finish though. High and wide, and in the end it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Again, the build-up play is brilliant by Guiseley, and yet again the finish just isn't up to scratch. Gavin Rothery there taking the ball, running 10 yards with it, getting to the edge of the area, bobbles in front of him, and when he hits it, it goes way over the bar and actually goes into the car park.
Well, it says it all, doesn't it? Holdsworth now has the ball and plays it forward, looking for Hobson. Hobson can't just get this one down. Once again, the ball falls kindly for Avenue. Jamie Price gets it this time. St. Just tries to feed it through towards Paul Walker. He's beaten to it, and once again, it's lofted long. Guys immediately playing the long ball, and then Wayne Brooksby is pulled up for a free kick for a foul on Scott Maxfield that the home fans don't agree with. It looked a little soft to me, Tom.
Yeah, it did look harsh. I mean, it was one of them. It was 50-50. And, I just think the referee just throughout this game has given 1 or 2 decisions either side. And, I think he's trying to balance it up.
The free kick's taken. It's a poor one. And it's gone out for a goal kick, which will please the manager. But with few options, there's only really, well, there's Ben Whitfield, Kyle Harrison and Louis Swain yet to be used. Tom, can you see any changes happening?
Well, I think Alex Johnson might be coming off in the next few minutes because he does look pretty knackered now. He has been working really hard yet again, and he does seem to be lasting 70-75 minutes. So it'll be interesting to see who comes on. I'd like to see Louis Swain come on, of course, against the team he was on loan at not that long ago.
Now a chance here for Wayne Brooksby to start a run down the right-hand side. He's up against Maxfield, goes in towards the edge of the area, gets past Maxfield, chips the ball up towards the back post. Johnson's looking for it, can't win the header, goes behind for a goal kick. And in the end, the chances passed, but a good work there from Wayne Brooksby. A lovely little clip in towards the back post, but Johnson just couldn't deal with it this time.
Yeah, it's really good play again, and I think if Hobson's in that situation, he scores because he, of course, you know, he's a
more aerially commanding, isn't he? Yeah.
A bit bigger than Johnson, I was going to say. But you know, it's just again getting in the right positions, but just not being able to make the most of it. And you know, hopefully it doesn't come back to bite Guiseley by the end of the match.
We're into the final 17 minutes. Guiseley leading by a goal to nil if you're just joining us here on Guiseley AFC Radio. Ben Parker, the man on the score sheet. Long ball forward from Michael Potts, just gifted straight back to John Lamb. Guiseley have been absolutely dominant in the first half, should have been 2 or 3 up. In the second, suddenly find themselves against a resurgent Avenue who've had the chances, the better of the chances in the second period to get back on level terms. Sanjus now on the left flank, coming up towards the edge of the penalty area, gets the ball into the Guiseley penalty area, clipped away by Jake Lawler, helped away by Wayne Brooksby, goes past his man down the right hand side. Guiseley could be 3 against 2 if Brooksby can do something with this ball. Johnson in the middle, Brooksby holds it up, looks to see if he can play the ball in towards the back post, takes the shot rather than anything else, and it's easy for John Lamb to clear, and Alex Johnson is rightfully furious. Now Bradford Park Avenue can counter-attack. The ball down the right-hand side here with Paul Walker. Walker looks to get the ball away, plays it square, and then returns the ball back across the face of the 6-yard box. Nobody on the end of it. Saint-Just was looking for it, so was Corner, but in the end it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Well, just there are 2 moments where first time Guiseley, you know, it's by Brooksby, just one of them where I don't know why he's having a shot, because guys have got Hobson and Johnson in the area ready to make some contact with the ball, and then you go to Park Avenue's chance where the cross is really good, just no one's there to make any contact with it, and Guiseley have got away with one there because St Just, I thought, was going to get into the area. He held his run a little bit. If he hadn't, he'd have had a tap in.
1 each, well 1-0, but it's making my fear of 1 each coming a little bit closer. Guiseley living a little bit by their nerves compared to the first half. Just unable to finish this game and put it to bed after dominating so long, and now Avenue right back in it in terms of the way that they've approached the game. Still 1-0 though. Now picked up here by Jordan Deasy. Won back by Guiseley. Now Wayne Brooksby. Can he do something with this? It's 3-on-4 at the moment. Brooksby goes down the right hand side. Now St Just is back. Now Avenue get players back. Brooksby holds on to it, plays it short to Potts. Boschel under pressure immediately from Nicky Boschel. Earns the foul, invites the foul, and the free kick is in the centre circle with Guiseley at the moment.
Well, just a wry smile there by Danny to his brother after Nicky made contact with him.
Boschel helps it up towards the edge of the D where Hobson gets pulled down and decide a free kick. He was a little bit theatrical in the way he went down, but Richard Marshall did just put a hand out and pull at him. So it's a free kick in a dangerous area, about 10 yards from the edge of the D here, Tom. This is a good shooting range. Yeah, fantastic opportunity. I remember Andy Holdsworth actually scored a beauty against Park Avenue with a free kick last season, so if he can replicate that again, that'd be nice. But just in terms of Hobson going down there, I think it's because there's been 3 or 4 occasions where he's been pulled and tugged and he's not gone down, no free kick given, so he's thinking, right, I'll have to go down then. He does first time and he gets a free kick. It's a 3-man wall. 4-man wall here that will be facing Andy Holdsworth, or is it Potts, or is it Brooksby, because there's 2 or 3 standing over it. Holdsworth is not going to be the one to take this one. He did score 2 wonderful ones, didn't he, at the Horsfall. It's going to be Potts who takes a shot over the wall. Disappointment goes around Nethermoor because they thought that something more promising might have come out of that, and immediately Avenue look to capitalise. As we head into the 76th minute, they play a long ball forward. Stephen Drench's clearance is held up in the air. Given chance here for Nicky Boschel to bring the ball forward. Plays it square to Deasy. Deasy back to Boschel. Boschel goes round and down, but no free kick. The ball's up towards the feet of Alex Johnson. And then Ben Parker helps it up towards the edge of the centre circle, but Avenue just pressing so hard at the moment. Guiseley can't get out of their own half. And a free kick eventually is awarded to Guiseley. I'm not quite sure what for, because I was unsighted by the referee there for a moment, Tom. I don't know what you saw of it, but it's a welcome respite nonetheless.
Just seemed to be a bit of a tug on Jake Lawler's shirt there. You know, I've seen referees not give that. I'm glad he has, because I think Guiseley just need that rest just for a few seconds.
Hobson does really well down the left-hand side, gets the ball into the area, but Danny Boschel has just clipped Jamie Price. Price hobbles a bit. Free kicks given to Avenue. Pressure still on. Good crowd here, down here at Nethermoor. Good atmosphere. It's been a very entertaining and tense derby. It could have been put to bed, I'm sure, in that first half. Still 1-0 to Guiseley if you're just joining us. Ben Parker, the goal scorer, on 9 minutes, but Avenue coming back strong at the moment. Alex Davison looking to get on the end of a long ball forward. Had to be hoiked into the crowd by Ben Parker. Parker having a word with the linesman. Probably feels he maybe was aggrieved somehow. Throw in, though, to Avenue, about level with the edge of the 18-yard box. There's 3 or 4 green shirts in the area. It goes short here to Paul Walker. Paul Walker gets the ball back out to the touchline. And then Avenue forced back as Guiseley defend and keep their shape well. Good battling here from Rothery to try and win the ball back. Avenue forced into conceding the throw by Richard Marshall. And it's going to be a throw to Guiseley, which I think might take a little while to take.
Yeah, I think some shoelaces might need tying or something. But just again, Gavin Rothery, I've been so impressed with him this game. The way he's ran back for everything. Yet again runs back and yet again gets his side possession.
Yeah, I think that's a really good call, that, to be honest, Tom. My man of the match as it stands. Guiseley have just conceded a throw on the halfway line. The temperature has dropped. The wind has raised. I think there's a little bit of rain in the air now. And the ball with Avenue as they begin to threaten, look to see if they can get back into this game. It's picked up now by DC, plays the ball into the area. Doesn't find his man. They had so many options. And there's some real frustration from the Avenue supporters in the crowd here. They're just furious that he didn't pick out his man. But it was a poor ball, wasn't it, Tom?
Yes, it was. And it's Bradford Park Avenue's chairman who's not happy, I can tell you that. He's really not happy at the way they've been passing the ball the last few minutes, shouting and yelling. But, you know, again, it's just frustration because Park Avenue, if they can keep the ball, they will create chances. But the more mistakes they make, the better it is for Guiseley.
At the moment, though, Avenue will be pleased with the way they've come out in this second half. Free kick almost inevitably given against Marshall for a late tackle there. And Danny Boschel is going to go in the book. And that's another yellow card for Danny Boschel. He picked one up on Monday night as well against Bradford Park Avenue. And this is another chance to give Avenue a bit of momentum, isn't it?
Well, yeah, get plenty of men forward and just see what they can make of it. I mean, Guiseley now, they're just going to be keeping Craig Hobson up by the looks of it. So it'll be interesting to see just how they're going to take this free kick.
Free kick's taken short in the end, into the feet of Marshall just on the halfway line. They're looking to launch this one long. And as they come over the halfway line, Guiseley tried to rob the ball back, but everything's sort of going Avenue's way, really, with the ball just at the moment. If there's a loose one, it seems to be bouncing to a man in a green shirt. It's gone out into touch for another Avenue throw. Still no substitute. I don't think Louis Swain or Ben Whitfield or Kyle Harrison are going to make way or be introduced into this game. We're heading into the last 10. Guiseley still leading by a goal to nil. It's tense stuff out here. The ball now inside Guiseley territory on the right-hand side. It's a good surging run there from Chris Howarth. Played well on Saturday night. A real gust of wind in the back of the stand here as Alex Johnson picks the ball up and comes down the other end. Plays a good one into Hobson. Hobson with 2 men around him. Can't get it away. Finds Alex Johnson in the area. Johnson is offside. And that's really disappointing because that would have been a real goal-scoring chance. Finally, there is going to be the third substitute for Avenue, but so disappointing that Guiseley couldn't put this game to bed, Tom.
Yeah, well, because Hobson seems to have timed the pass perfectly. Johnson's weaving in and out, just making sure his timing is run. And it just appears that just when Hobson's made contact with the pass, Johnson must be literally a centimetre the wrong way because he looked level, but he didn't complain, it has to be said. So that really was a key chance because it was 2-on-1 and Johnson would have had a free shot on goal.
Some severe gusts of wind just in the build-up to that attack, which made it so much harder for Guiseley to make headway. Hobson gets the ball on the halfway line. He's then robbed well by Maxfield. Avenue have brought on another substitute. Hume's come on. I think it's Price is the man who's made way. The ball down the right-hand side now here with DC. DC has the ball into the area, held well by Stephen Drench. He really had to watch that because the wind behind it, it could have gone anywhere, but Drench, once again, a safe pair of hands.
Yeah, it just took a little deflection as well off Ben Parker, and it just changed the direction a little bit. That with the wind as well, it was really flying at Steve Drench, so he's done really well to get 2 hands on the ball and keep hold of it.
Well, the referee's just baffled me there. He's just given a free kick against Hobson. I've no idea how he's managed to judge that to be a foul against Maxfield. Don't mean to get on the backs of the officials, but that was a bit of a strange one. Howarth now has the ball for Avenue, comes over the halfway line. Everything going to be played in this Guiseley half, I would imagine, until the end of this game. Now here with Boschel. Boschel under pressure from Parker, wins the throw-in. Nicky Boschel is looking to get his side back on terms. Throw-in now for Avenue, just about level with the 6-yard box on the right-hand side. Temperature really has plummeted here. It's chilly and windy, and it's quite ominous, isn't it, really, into this last 10 minutes or so from a Guiseley perspective, because the more Avenue press, the more it's sort of heart and mouth stuff.
Well, the parallels between this game and Boston United last week, it's staggering, really, because this is exactly what happened last week in terms of Boston United in the second half. They didn't know how they didn't get a goal, and I think that's how Avenue will feel in terms of this last 45.
Well, Hobson's just dawdled on the ball far too long, giving Avenue a chance to come down this right-hand side, left-hand side, and then a foul by Parker has given a free kick. And I think Parker might... No, it's not Parker, sorry, Lawler has given a free kick, and I think Lawler's going to find himself in the book now. But that was just poor play there from Hobson. And he really had time and chances to distribute the ball and just held on to it far too long.
Yeah, and it's not been like him during this, while he's been playing today. He has been normally getting the ball and passing it on quickly. And Lawler there, he deserves his yellow card because he did make a tackle in the first half, which could have been a booking. So I do think after this one as well, it deserves to be a yellow.
This is dangerous. The free kick can be whipped in here. Players hanging around on the edge of the 18-yard box. A good ball comes in, has to be headed away well by Hobson. Makes amends for the original foul, the original mistake. Avenue have a throw-in inside Guiseley's half. Everyone except for John Lamb in Guiseley's half at the moment. With 7 minutes to go, the Lions lead by 1-0 here in the FA Trophy at Nethermoor. But Avenue have had their chances in this second half and could be back on level terms, and at the moment have the wind with them, the wind in their sails, both proverbially and literally. Tackled now by Gavin Rothery, gives Hobson a chance to close down John Lamb. John Lamb clears, shanks the clearance up in the air. Potts can maybe win this one, but DC gets the better of him. Helps the ball down here, DC, onto the halfway line. Good touch into the feet of Saint-Just. Good blocking, though, by Brooksby. Blasts straight into his chest and gives it to Hobson. Hobson now to the left-hand side where Alex Johnson comes running with the ball. Can't get on the end of it. Almost fed back towards Hobson. Cleared. Picked up well by Gavin Rothery from the clearance from Lamb. Helped back onto the right-hand side here towards Brooksby. Guys, he do need to just put this game to bed. A second goal. They need to attack this with urgency. They're just holding it up at the moment. Into the box here. Gavin Rothery. He's got 2 players around him. Feeds it into Brooksby. Brooksby square now to Boschel. Guys, you have taken the sting out of it. Instead of going for the goal, they've decided just to try and run the clock down. Brooksby does well, though. Goes past one. Invites the foul. Gets the free kick. And it's a free kick in a dangerous position, Tom.
Well, the most important thing is as well, it's wasting a little bit more time. It's in Avenue's half. But Brooksby there, that's really clever play by him because he just invites the defender to foul. And I'm surprised he accepted that opportunity, but I think Brooksby's had a really good game alongside Rothery, and it's now just a case of, I don't know whether they're going to corner it. I think there's 5 minutes to go, but I think they'll just whip this in. Hobson hopefully can get a goal, because I think, to be honest, the way Hobson's been playing, apart from that one error, I actually think he's had a pretty good game, just for how he's held the ball up and how he's got the play going.
Yellow card for Richard Marshall in all of that. Free kick now for Guiseley. About 6 or 7 yards to the right of the angle of the penalty area. The ball into the area is poor by Brooksby. Only as far as Rothery is the clearance, but his return isn't any direction. Hobson has to try and hold Tom Corner from releasing a quick ball forward. Now Jake Lawler's got plenty of work to do. The ball goes up to Boschel. Boschel takes it down well. Now plays it to the right-hand side where Paul Walker picks it up. Played forward now into Jordan Deasy. Guys, you need to get bodies backwards from this. And then the free kick is the throw-in is eventually given. Referee and linesman disagreeing again as to whose throw-in it is. He's given it to Guiseley. The linesman on that far side there thought it was a Avenue one, but I think actually in that instance I think the referee got that one right.
Yeah, well, I think it does just take a little nick off a Bradford Park Avenue player, so the referee gets it right. But it's interesting just how many decisions the linesman and the referee have disagreed on today.
They'll be talking about it in the bar afterwards. Ever seen a referee's bust up? No, I haven't either. Okay, we have it's the tension and the cold. We're entering into the last couple of minutes here. Guys, he's still leading by that 1-0. Ben Parker, the man who got the goal on 9 minutes. At the moment, guys, you've got a free kick inside their own half. Stephen Drench plays it long. Headed down now by Gavin Rothery. It's a lot of work here for Wayne Brooksby to do. He's got St. Just on him. Brooksby takes the wrong decision, tries to beat his man, and then ends up over-hitting it and out into touch. It means that Avenue can bring the ball forward once again. It's going to be a throw from their left-back position. Back to the goalkeeper, Lamb. Hobson tries to close it down. Lamb lofts it long. Does well. Plays it up towards Hume. Hume flicks it on. Finds corner. Corner gets into the area. Paul Walker goes down on the edge of the 18-yard box. There's a huge cry for a penalty from Avenue. Difficult to say, actually, in fairness, what that was on this point in time. But Walker had got past his man. No reason to go down. In the counter-attack, Gavin Rothery gets pulled down. And there's going to be a second yellow card here, I think, isn't it, for Richard Marshall. And it looks like in an instance this game has turned. Richard Marshall off for a second yellow card as Gavin Rothery went down the other end. But moments earlier, huge amount of controversy here because Paul Walker, having got clear of the back, went down and referee waved away the appeals.
Well, the referee looked straight at the linesman and he basically indicates, is this a penalty, yes or no? The linesman shakes his head and insists play to continue. And then Guiseley break up the other end. And of course Avenue are going to feel aggrieved because they think they should have a penalty. They're now down to 10 men, only a few minutes to go. And of course the free kick's going to be in Avenue's half as well.
Well, as we get to the final moment of the game, huge amount of controversy into the last minute here. Guiseley have a free kick, but they could have been facing up to a penalty at the other end when Paul Walker went down. And in the end, they got the free kick, and there was Richard Marshall, who was the offender, who got a second yellow within a minute. Well, Mr. Hassan has not made himself popular to the away fans and officials and players. Eventually, the game gets back underway. Hobson holds it back into that corner flag. Rothery steps across, picks it up off him. Brooksby helps it back here to Boschel. Guys, you just need to play keep ball now. Out here towards Alex Johnson. Johnson's got the overlapping run of Holdsworth. Johnson to the edge of the area. Takes a shot with the right foot, just wide again, somehow. It's just not going to be put to bed, this game.
Well, this game's going to end 1-0 if Guiseley are going to win it because they just can't score another goal. It really is the case. Alex Johnson there, fantastic effort. I thought he was going to pass to Holdsworth, who'd made such a good run. And it just at the last second went wide. And again, I can't believe it hasn't gone in.
The ball headed out by Avenue as the clearance from Lamb went into Guiseley's half. Tense moments here. Just 10 men Avenue now. Richard Marshall sent off just a couple of minutes earlier after Guiseley counter-attacked after a penalty incident itself. Now Hobson has the ball down the left-hand side. Can't seem to get it into the area. He's got Boschel behind him in a better position on the edge of the area. Boschel plays it square here to Johnson. Johnson's got Brooksby in a better position, takes a shot. It's blocked. Back to Brooksby in the area. If Brooksby can get this one away. Plays it square now. Boschel takes a shot from distance. Easy for Lamb to collect. But Alex Johnson should have given the ball to Brooksby in the first instance because Brooksby was clear. And it's held by John Lamb, and John Lamb has come chasing out of his area to launch this one long. The 10 men still believe they can get back out to this tie. Back here to St. Just. St. Just comes over the halfway line. Guys, you need to defend into these final moments here. Good tackle from Wayne Brooksby. Takes the ball off St. Just. Gavin Rothery now on the counter-attack. Guys, they have players over. Brooksby can go clearing on goal if he can control this. He's got Rothery in the area. Plays it in. Rothery! Oh, misses! From 8 yards out. Goal at his mercy. The ball played square from Wayne Brooksby, and Rothery blasts it over the bar.
Well, if that doesn't sum up the Guiseley are not going to get another goal today, I don't know what will. Gavin Rothery is 6 yards out. He's got basically an open goal. It just bobbles in front of him, but he had time. He could have taken 1 or 2 touches and just slammed it home. But
now, Boschel comes over the halfway line. Sorry, Tom. He comes over the halfway line as Guernsey counter-attack once again. Up to the edge of the D. Good tackle on him. It has to be said that was a cracking tackle from Nicky Boschel. But it's only as far as Potts. 4 minutes of added time, I think there'll be. And there's a free kick now. And there's going to be another yellow card because Guiseley have been inviting the challenges on the left-hand side there. I'm not quite sure who picked that one up, Tom. Was that Jordan Deasy?
I think it was. I think he was one of the bunch that had been there wearing the green shirts. But, you know, it's just been such an incredible game. 1-0 does not do this game justice at all. It's been an incredible game. So many chances. And hopefully now guys can just see it out.
Hobson has the ball down the left-hand side, earns a throw-in. Since they went down to 10 men, Guiseley, Bradford Park Avenue quite understandably haven't been able to create the chances that they were up into that moment, and still such a moment of controversy when Paul Walker went down in the area. Of course, if there had been a foul and a penalty, would undoubtedly have seen Guiseley down to 10. Free kick now given to Avenue. 476 turned out today to see this. It feels like more, actually. It's been a good crowd, good vociferous crowd.
Great atmosphere.
And we head into deepest parts of stoppage time. Everyone forward now for Avenue. Long ball played forward from the free kick. It finds Paul Walker. He takes it down on his chest, but he can't control. Cleared by Ben Parker. Out to touch for another throw-in. Here comes the final throw of the dice from Avenue, picked up by Jordan Deasy. Chance for them to get this one into the box. Everyone in there. Ball goes across everyone. Past Saint-Just, out for a goal kick. Sigh of relief.
Oh, I can get my breath back for a second now. Just really poor effort there by Deasy, because all the men have gone near post, so he goes far post, and it's a wasted effort when you consider that Park Avenue at that point had 7 men in the area. Deasy's taken it, and you've got 2 men outside. They basically had every player out near the Guiseley area, and he's just absolutely aimed that into no man's land, and it's gone out for a goal kick.
So the goal kick is taken by Stephen Drench, the referee. Hopefully we'll start looking at his watch. It's been such an fascinating encounter this afternoon. Controversy, moments of importance, and now here's another one here as Wayne Brooksby takes the ball off Saint-Just, goes down the right-hand flag. Saint-Just does really well to win that one back. Brooksby keeps battling with him. Ball goes back to John Lamb. Hobson can close him down. Lamb gets the ball away. Only as far as Andy Holdsworth. Good control from Holdsworth on the chest. Plays it forward up to Brooksby. Brooksby and Boschel combine nicely down the right-hand side. And Boschel just slows it down. Plays it into the feet of, or plays it down the channel towards Hobson. Hobson's beaten to it. Gets up at the second attempt, controls the ball. Still down there in that corner flag, having to do some real hard work. He hasn't got the goal that he'll have wanted, but he's done plenty of effort. Potts now gets the ball back as Avenue did begin to clear, but now Gavin Rothery, can he atone for that earlier miss? Plays the ball left here towards Boschel. Boschel back in towards Rothery. Rothery through a goal! Beats the goalkeeper to it! Plays the ball into the back of the net, and it's there! Game, set and match now to Guiseley. It's Guiseley 2, Avenue 0.
Oh wow, thank you very much. 2-0, that'll do very nicely, and it's so deserved for Guiseley. Gavin Rothery, it's a lovely little finish, of course, atoning for that miss he made a few minutes ago. But I think Guiseley deserved to win this game just on that fantastic first half performance. And finally, it's 2-0 to Guiseley, and well, hopefully that'll be it. I don't know how long's left, but I think it's safe to say that that'll be game, set and match, Guiseley.
Well, that should be safe passage through to the next round, the FA Trophy. You just don't know, do you, in this game? It seems that anything could happen. But what a wonderful way to cap this performance off for Guiseley, because, you know, all credit to Avenue. They have pressed, and they have only 10 men, but they're still looking to get one back. The ball played forward, up towards the edge of the area where it's taken away by Andy Holdsworth, into the feet of Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby over the halfway line. It's got Alex Johnson to his left, finds Alex Johnson. Johnson goes into the area. He's got Price ahead of him to beat. Gets the shot away, scores a third. Alex Johnson wraps it up. Harsh on Avenue. A ball played lovelily into his feet. Johnson skips around the defence, blasts the ball into the back of the net. It's Guiseley 3, Avenue 0.
Well, just like buses, you wait for one and two come along at once. It really has been a case. On the next attack, guys, they get forward. Alex Johnson, who did exactly what he's been doing for the last 90 minutes, in a right position, has a shot. This time, finally, it just goes in. 3-0, and I think that just adds a bit of gloss to the result.
3-0. To be fair, it's not a 3-0 scoreline from that second half performance, but that is just the icing on the cake. The final moments of the game there, because the referee has blown the whistle. Fury from Avenue. The game could have turned on an instant in that second period after Ben Parker had scored the goal in 9 minutes and in the first half. There was a pivotal moment in that second period when Avenue, who pressed and pressed and pressed, were convinced they had earned a penalty when Paul Walker went down just inside the edge of the area. He was the last man. He was through clean on goal. It would have been presumably a red card for the offender. It would have been a penalty to Avenue, but the referee didn't see that. We didn't see it, to be fair. We can't really make a call on it. But right up the other end, on the counter-attack, Richard Marshall was forced into a foul. I think it was on Gavin Rothery, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Who had a wonderful game this afternoon, absolutely marvellous game. Marshall went off with a second yellow, and after that, Guiseley had chances as well. Rothery missed one from 10 yards out before finally getting one right at the death to put the game to bed, and then Alex Johnson with the icing on the cake, getting the third. It's finished here, Guiseley 3, Avenue 0.
Well, there's just relief all round at Nethermoor, because on another day, Park Avenue would have got that penalty. It'd have been a red card. It'd be 1-1, and then you never know. Park Avenue might have gone and stolen it, but just the way Guiseley played today, it was such an incredible first half performance in terms of how they got forward. Fine, they didn't take the chances, but they played so well, and the second half they defended brilliantly. And well, I think it's a warranted win. Maybe 3-0's a bit harsh on Park Avenue, but it's another 3-0 against Park Avenue, and I think Guiseley will take that.
And it could have been more, couldn't it, at the end of the day? In that first half, the game could have been dead and buried if we'd taken our chances a little bit better. But a wonderful victory. 3-0, and in amongst all of that, yet another clean sheet.
Well, the run keeps on going with Steve Drench. He made such an incredible save in the second half. He's warranted keeping that other clean sheet, and well, hopefully he'll keep a few more in a row to continue that run.
Fantastic. We hope you've really enjoyed the coverage today. If you couldn't be here, we hope you enjoyed us here on Guiseley AFC Radio. We'll be back next week, a home tie against Altrincham. It doesn't get any easier.
No, it doesn't.
But we'll be bringing you full match commentary of that, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Thanks.